product of the same issues that game 2 was?
I felt this game, our guys, they fought defensively. The sense of urgency was higher. But at the same time, the turnovers and just the lack of confidence in shooting the ball when we have open looks, that's difficult. It's been difficult for us to generate points.
Those live ball turnovers tonight, absolutely. Could you pinpoint a reason for so many of them?
They're good defense for a reason. And to beat this team, we have to be really sound in our execution. And when we're not, and we're getting into the paint and trying to throw interior passes, they're really good. They're handsy. All of their guys, this is what they do. They've done it all season. And it's hurt us. Whenever we turn the ball over, they get out in transition. They had 21 fast break points, and it fuels their offense.
Realistically, in 36 hours, 2 days, what can you do to address confidence in shooting?
Just make sure our guys understand that the weight of the world is not on your shot. Like, you're open, shoot the ball. Guys been doing it all season. They put the work in. Be confident in it. Let's make sure we focus on our execution offensively. They're a tough team. Give them credit. They came in, and as tough as we tried to play them defensively, it got away from us with the turnovers and the lack of our ability to knock down shots.
You guys got it to 40-39 in the second quarter. I think they went on a 4-0 run. What did you see during that stretch? How important was that, in the overall flow of the game?
Yeah, our margin for error is small, and they hit a couple tough shots during that stretch. I know we took a couple tough shots at the same time, and they got on a run from there. So those are the moments where when you feel that, we have to come down and get organized and get into a set.
And just how frustrating was it to see the turnovers in the third quarter when you maybe could have cut into it a little bit?
It was tough. I think we started the third quarter with like 4 straight turnovers, and that's all we talked about in terms of our game plan discipline. And look, our guys are going out there, they're trying, they're fighting, but that's an area that we can't, kill ourselves with the turnovers, and we did that tonight.
Yeah, I know we talked a lot about BI struggles this series, but another tough one for CJ tonight too. Just what are you seeing with him, especially with him turning the ball over the way he did tonight?
Yeah, not his best game, but it wasn't because of his effort. CJ has been going out all season long, playing really high level basketball. This team is tough. They got big defenders on our guys. They got Holmgren down there. When you do break the paint and get into the lane, he's down there, and he's altering shots or blocking shots. And so we just have to understand this is what they do. They protect the paint. They allow you to kick the ball out to the perimeter, and when you do that over and over again, you can score. But if not, it plays right into their hands.
Yeah, and there's been 3 straight games where you guys, are low scoring, way low scoring than we used to seeing throughout the season. What do you think just the big picture issue is on offense right now, where y'all are struggling so much to execute in half court?
Well, when you have one of your best players out, your margin for error shrinks, and when your margin for error shrinks against one of the better teams, every bit of execution matters. The turnovers, the way we set screens, the shot taking that we have, and collectively, game 1 was a little bit better. Game 2 got away from us. Game 3, I felt like our defensive energy and effort was there, but offensively, we just didn't capitalize on our opportunities.
In the second half, you decided to go Larry at center, went away from JV. That didn't really help matters as much, but I think just what do you want to see with that smaller unit in the second half, and why do you think it didn't work out the way you hoped?
Yeah, just trying to generate more offense, to your point. See if we can get some stops. We had some quality looks. We missed them, and they made theirs. And that's been the difference in the game. They've made their quality shots and tough shots, and we've either missed ours or we've turned the ball over.
And Willie, when you did go small in the second half, I think when Larry did take his first rest, I think BI was on Shet. Did you see anything you liked from the small ball lineups in that second half that gives you some hope for the fourth game?
Yeah, we do. We feel like Holmgren he's more of like a wing player, and just putting some of our bigger wing defenders on him, Williams and Gilgeous-Alexander, and then switching those screens. The first couple games, Holmgren is popping. He's getting open threes, or he's playing the second side, and we were in rotations. This kept us out of rotations tonight.
Hey, Willie, no team's ever come back from 3-0 deficit. What's kind of your message to the team after
It's not over. It's not over. Look, we got another game here at home, and we're not going to fix all of our issues tonight. Go home, have a good meal, and we'll come back tomorrow and practice and go over what we need to and get ready for the next game.
Coach, you've only won one quarter against the Thunder in this series. Kind of what needs to happen on a play-by-play basis to kind of string together some better possessions for you down the stretch?
Capitalize on our stops, take care of the ball, and when we have great quality looks, shoot it with confidence. Simple.
None of this is on one player, obviously, but Brandon really shined in this playoff stage 2 years ago. What are you seeing that's just different about the matchup against the Thunder than the Suns?
They're the number one one of the top defensive teams in the league for a reason, and all their guys are switchable. It kind of stagnates your offense at times, so we just have to play faster, be more mindful about taking care of the basketball. It was good to see BI get going a little bit more tonight and or today rather, and we'll just continue to try to build on that.
Knowing that you made that shift in the second half, you think that's going to be a solution going into game 4, just having to play smaller, more often, try to space the floor out a little bit more for BI and CJ?
We'll see. Right now, our mentality is that we have to be willing to take a chance and try some things that maybe we haven't before to see if it can spark us. Okay, thank you.
Wow. For all things Pelicans, now tuned into the Pelican Postgame Report. Much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in this episode of the Pelican Postgame Report. Please feel free to hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. I'm Big Q. We got Lex chiming in. We'll have DC chiming in momentarily. With this one, the Pelicans, man, what can I tell y'all? I was watching while we was doing the day 3 coverage of the Saints draft, and it didn't look good at all, man. I mean, the Pelicans, man, and Willie Green, it's just the reaction, man. They just you know what, fam, to me, and y'all tell me if y'all agree with me or you disagree with me. Just feel like the Pelicans feel like, man, we did enough just to make the playoffs, and now we did it. And then now they're in the playoffs. It's like it's just ridiculous. Like they put a lot of energy into making the playoffs, and now they're in the actual playoffs. It requires another level, another gear that they don't have. Now you're talking about wait for Zion or whatever to try to get him to come back and all this. The Pelicans have enough people, enough talent on this team to make this a competitive series. It's not even competitive, man. These are 2 back-to-back blowouts by OKC in their building. The Pelicans supposed to be road warriors, man. I guess only in the regular season we talked about that. Shout out to you, brother Aramis. We played with no hope, like we learned nothing. Orlando just tied their series and down as bad as us and younger, yet they fought back. We're going out sad, no hope. Meanwhile, we got Predator-looking Lou Dart making a name off of us. It's interesting all at the same time how just ridiculous all this is. Like I said, it just seems like the Pelicans, man. Just seemed like to me the Pelicans are a team that just basically just were happy just making the playoffs. They have nothing to give. They have nothing to give. Absolutely nothing. Anyway, shout out. Thank you, brother Aramis, for the super chat, man. And also shout out to you guys. Appreciate you all being in the stream. Much love to the flock, man. Man, listen, man. I don't know what to say about this one, man. All I can tell you is that this is awful. This is a bad look. The Pelicans are a laughingstock, man. Willie Green don't know what he's talking about. He getting up here, and it's almost like I'm confused because I'm listening to him talk, and it's not the same. It's like he's talking about a different game that we're not watching. We just got to do this, and we'll be fine. I mean, no, your team is lackluster. They're dumb. They're unintelligent. They're lost. And they don't have they don't have a playoff gear. They don't have a next level gear to kick into to compete with OKC. And OKC's a young, inexperienced team. It's just ridiculous, man. But anyway, shout out to the fam, man. We in this one. Lex, how you doing? You good?
I suppose.
All right. Well, Lex, good. She's in here as well. She's a witness of bad basketball, and she's feeling pretty good about it right now. I know I ain't, but I know you're not. But
Oh
anyway,
no, shoot! It's been a full day of basketball. I coached my team today, and yeah, a lot of refereeing of games today, and then made it back in time home to watch the game, and I witnessed this type of product on the floor. So, I'm just calm, cool, and collected. You got to keep your composure, right?
Yes, I imagine so. I might not be the best representative for such philosophy, but especially when I'm witnessing the Pelicans. But at the end of the day, man, it is what it is. Let me touch some team statistics and individual Lexxah, and I kind of turn, you get the runway. I know DC is supposed to chime in here in a few minutes. I think he's still doing the concert over there, but as soon as he gets done playing his guitar, he'll hop in here. Big ups to the family members. The Pelicans, man, 32 of 84 for 31.1% versus OKC's 40 of 83. These people were 48.2% from the field. They hit 17 3-pointers right today. 17 of 36 for 47.2%. The Pelicans, 9 of 32. Get that. 17 3-pointers versus 9 3-pointers. 28.1% by the Pelicans. They did get to the foul line 14 times, converted 12 of 14. OKC 9 of 13 for 69%. Pelicans fifth, 85.7 there. 47 rebounds by OKC versus 45 by the Pelicans. 11 offensive. Assist game, low again by the Pelicans. 18 stinking assists versus 27 by OKC. Steal game, they had 14 to 13. Pels had that 5-2 block game for OKC. Turnovers, Pelicans high turnovers again, 21 turnovers versus 16 by OKC. The fast break points advantage OKC 21 to 16. Points in the paint 40 to 38 advantage OKC. Ain't too much OKC didn't do that wasn't positive. And they regardless of not whether they're in our building or not, they're a team that just seems to have it all. They just play with heart and ferocity, and the Pelicans do not. Top scorer for the Pelicans was Brandon Ingram. 19 points in 37 minutes, 7 of 14 from the field, 2 of 3 from downtown. For him, 19 and 4 rebounds, 1 steal in the block. You look at 16 points by CJ McCollum in 35 minutes, 7 of 22 from the field, 2 of 8 from downtown, 16 points, 7 assists, 5 boards, and 2 steals. 15 from Herb in 38 minutes. He also had 7 rebounds, 10 from Trey Murphy in 44 minutes. Only 10 points, 4 of 12 from the field, 2 of 5 from downtown. 10 points. He was minus 26 on the plus minus. He 6 boards to go along with 2 assists and 3 steals. 10 is not good enough, Trey. That's not good enough, brother. Valanciunas only played 12 minutes in this game, but put up 7 points with 4 boards in the matchup. And Willie Green does what he does. He becomes dumb Willie and put Larry Nance in there. Larry played 29 minutes, had 9 points. He had 13 rebounds and 5 assists. But he said he was trying to create a spark, an offensive spark. Really? Dude is just brain dead and about who these players are. He don't know his team. He doesn't know his personnel. You need offense there. You got to go with offensive players, the offensive scoring players. A Matt Ryan, a Jordan Hawkins, somebody that can get you buckets. Najee finished with 5 points in 21 minutes, a couple of rebounds there. Dyson Daniels played 7 minutes, only 4 points there. Not much really to talk about for the Pelicans there. OKC did it all, and they did it with 8-man rotation. 24 points from Shai today. Shai finished with 24 and 8, 21 for Humpback Williams in the matchup. He plays them so well. 21 from Josh Giddey in a matchup. And then Paris says those 3 was good enough, along with Lou Dort's defense with 12 points there. Chet didn't really do too much. He just stayed back in the cut. Don't worry. When Monday pops around, Chet's going to cut it all loose in 33 minutes. He only gave him 6 points, 8 boards. It was enough to dust the Pelicans off by 21. Awful. The floor is yours, Lex. What do you think? Hold on, just before a shout out to All World Trucker. Lex, how would the team would have looked if we never won the number 1 pick to draft Zion and kept Julius Randle? Thank you for the super chat. Lex, the floor is yours.
Oh, you want me to answer that question?
Yeah, that's fine.
To draft Zion again. Yeah, that probably would have been that would have been best. golly, I mean, that kind of goes off the beaten path. But I don't know. I'm feeling that being brutally honest on today. When it says how would the team would have looked if we never won the number one pick to the draft? I mean, probably probably the same, but just not having a big name, not having a juggernaut talent. When Zion came into the league, I don't think the Pelicans understood what they were getting. I don't think they understood that at all. And I say that because when I look at Wembanyama, you could tell that they were preparing, they were planning accordingly for his arrival. And by they, I'm talking about the Spurs. The guy that Wembanyama was working with, his trainer, the Spurs hired that guy because he learned and understood the body of Wembanyama. Wembanyama's body is unique, the same as Zion's. When Zion came to the Pelicans were not prepared for a Zion Williamson. They weren't. I think so far, I think, and I know that it's a combination of things, but I really do feel like the organization has failed that man. And I think, it's really taken a toll on his career. When we look at the beginnings of, just his career, it hasn't, it's like we're playing, it's hurry up and wait. It's hurry up and wait. And I don't think they've been grooming him correctly, guiding him, developing him to be a star in this league like they should. I don't like their methods. I don't like the fact that they don't have a veteran in place. When Wembanyama got to the Spurs, you know who gathered around him? Okay, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Robinson, Tony Parker. They all took him out to dinner and they just talked to him for a few hours. That's the type of, and I know the Pelicans don't have that type of those caliber players or alumni, if that's what you want to call it, here. But I mean, the thing is that you see what I'm saying? Like all those things, like when you have a perennial star like that, you have to, man, you lost AD and you actually got somebody who has the ability to surpass him. I mean, when Zion started playing, he actually started out dominating immediately. And he wasn't even in his best conditioning. You all know how crazy that is? Do you know that Zion, at one point in time during his 5 years in this season, he has been number one as far as points in the paint? That's over Giannis. That was over Giannis. I think that was his second year. I think that's when that was his 61 game year. Like that's pretty up there. I mean, we saw the company that he was with in his first year. But I mean, I think, just the whole situation, the situation that you walk into really does matter. It really does matter. And I just don't feel like when I look at the Pelicans, the organization, how they run their organization, how they treat this fan base, they're not honest. I mean, you're going to tell the fan base what, December, January, February, March, April. I mean, you're going to, wait 4 months to basically tell the fan base that, oh yeah, we gave an extension to these people. I think, the fact that they've been misleading, the fan base as far as, 2-week turnaround and Zion will be back. 2 weeks, we're going to reevaluate. you know what? It's going to be another 2 weeks after that 2 weeks. Then another 2 weeks on top of that 2 weeks, on top of that 2 weeks, on top of that 2 weeks that we're going to reevaluate. Oh, you know what? Zion's out for the season. Misleading the fans. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, and I'm looking at a lot of different things. I know I'm probably jumping around, but you know, I just feel like, you know, there's a lot of things with this organization that is being witnessed by the world right now. It's confirming, like you said, Big Q, the Pelicans are a joke. And I've been saying this, like, nobody is taking the Pelicans seriously because the Pelicans are not taking themselves seriously. They're not. Like, it's like, y'all don't feel a certain kind of way. Do y'all know y'all being disrespected, man? You're being disrespected. You know, the calls that the Pelicans get, hey, you know, Willie want to keep his money in his pocket, right?
That's what he said.
So basically, you voted for your money at, you know, be like, nah, we don't respect us. And then that dumbfounded look on your face, like, dog, like, that's not gonna do it. The foul that Brandon had at the buzzer, that was like so obvious. I mean, how can you you know, I actually care about, you know, the fan base. I think it sucks for the fan base to deal with this junk. No, if you know how we laugh about the compassion in the gym.
Oh yeah.
And everything. You know what? I actually have more compassion for the Pelicans fan base than, you know, the organization, because the thing is, I feel like they continue to lie, to mislead, to put a bad product on the court for this fan base, and they expect the fan base to be loyal to this junk. And that is not right. No, I know these guys are corporate, and if you think about it, that's what corporate does. You know, I mean, that's what they do. But this is just sad on all levels. It's sad on all levels, and I know I'm kind of everywhere, but it really sucks that, you know, for all these years, it seems like it's stress. It's dysfunction like 10.0. And I don't really want to hear about culture. I don't want to hear about family. I don't want to hear about love. Man, put a winning team on the court. It's time to win. If you put a winning team on the court, then you know what? Guess what? The culture's gonna be there. Stop trying to put family and love and culture. Guess what? The foundation has to be winning. How are we going to win? What do we need to do to win?
Yes.
It ain't about compassion. It's about the passion for winning. We need winners. I'm feeling Mike Singletary right now. We need winners. That's what he said when he was the coach at San Francisco 49ers. We need winners. This is not a successful season according to the perspective that you're looking at this from. It's all about your perception. If winning a lot of games in regular season is a good season for you, that's great. If getting to the playoffs, listen to the wording, getting to the playoffs, and that's it, and that's what you call a successful season, hey, okay, let me tell you something. I really don't see a reason why you want to go to the playoffs if you're not trying to go far in the playoffs. Why would you want to go to the playoffs just to perform like this? Dog, Y'all should have lost against the Kings. Let me say this again. Y'all should have lost against the Kings. Y'all should have lost. Because you know what? The last time that I saw anybody who gave anything about this team as far as their performance, man, that was Zion against LA when he scored 40 points. That dude played by himself. He's the only one who showed up.
Yep.
And let me tell you something. He was guarding King James. He was guarding King James, and King James, did not score a point in the fourth quarter until Zion went out the game. Zion felt a certain kind of way against the first game against the Lakers and came out and had a total 180 in his performance. I don't see anybody else on this squad. And you know what? Look, we're just gonna go straight to the point. Brandon and CJ do not perform on the big stage. They don't. They don't. And I think everybody can agree that, when nobody pleased with their play at all. They played like hot garbage. In my Deion Sanders voice. Hot garbage mixed in with a little Medea.
Yeah,
That's how they played.
Lex, this was awful, man.
It was.
This was awful.
And
And
I
it
kind
was
of left field and all, because I had my notes and all that stuff, but that question came up, and this is it's like, why care? Why care about any of this stuff? I mean, and it's not just the players, it's from top to bottom. But you know what? I know this one thing. There's some people that don't deserve no max contract. I know that. You can argue with me if you want to, but hey, I'm letting you know right now. Hey, don't nobody need to be extended for no max contract.
Yeah, that's true, Lex, because this is where we figure this stuff out. Like, this is where
Yeah,
the $30 million contracts, and we talk about those guys.
answers all the questions. This answers all the questions, because if I'm not mistaken, it's about performance, right? Is that right?
That's right. High
Yeah.
performance.
Yeah.
High performance. And they're not turning over anything. 19 points for BI and all these other. If you're going to pay $30 million for people right now, listen, we know BI is still dealing with some type of injury because he don't look totally all there. But if the question is Brandon Ingram's not the guy, then CJ McCollum got to go too.
Yeah.
He got to go.
Willie got to go.
You're only putting it together if it works. You have to clear the space for Trey Murphy to make it has to be Trey Murphy for $30 million for BI at this juncture. And look how pathetic they look in the playoffs. They don't have any courage, no respect, no nothing.
Man,
Just
there's no conviction.
nothing.
There's nothing. Just like we said, man. And I mean, man, look, I wanna share something with you, and this is all verbatim. I had this stuff kind of organized. Let me go to it real quick, because this is just crazy, man.
Lex, hold on. I'm gonna give you the full runway. Let's hear a little bit from BI, then I'm gonna bring it back to you. So hold your thought right there. Let's hear from him right quick, and let's hear. I want to hear what your notes are. But here's BI right.
Just continue to push the pace.
You've been on this playoff stage before. I mean, how would you, I guess, compare or contrast like the defense the Suns threw at you guys 2 years ago versus what the Thunder are doing now?
It's a little different. It's a little, sometimes the game is 4-on-4. Sometimes when little Jordan's having pressure, me crossing the half court line, he's probably attached to my body every single time. So it's been some 4-on-4. I think the physicality is about the same for one side of the basketball for sure. But it's pretty similar.
In that Phoenix series, it was just a big moment for you individually, just what you were able to do. I guess how tough has it been just not being able to tap back into that during this series and kind of have those same type of performances?
I mean, it's tough. It's tough, especially when you expect so much more out of yourself. But, OKC, they've been game planning, trying to take me off the basketball, trying to make me play off the basketball, being physical, sending different bodies at me, and just gotta figure it out. It's not going to be easy, but continue to keep going and try to figure out ways to be effective, not only scoring the basketball but getting guys in rhythm.
What have you seen these last two games that's resulted in so many of the turnovers piling up the way they have?
Uh, Defensive team just being together. Just being together when somebody gets beat, they have somebody to cover up for them. They got a good rim protector in Chet, and the other guys that can slide their feet. They keep their worst defenders on the back line, and some of their best defenders where most of our offense is. So they game plan on that.
And, as these kind of slow offensive performances have kind of stacked, do you think confidence has become an issue? Just guys not just playing with the same rhythm, same confidence that you guys were during the regular season?
Sure. Of course, it'll be it's a different swagger when you're getting stops and you're running back down on the other end. But this one, this the next game is it's important. And if we don't win this one, we out. So we don't have anything to lose. We got to go out here and just give it our all and continue to push from there. Maybe we find a rhythm in this next game and we can build off that. And if confidence is low, we can get our confidence back and just do what we've been trying to do all season.
B.I. Willie looked like he wanted to see if go the small ball route a little bit more in that second half, and then you found yourself matched up against Shet. How do you feel you did against Shet, and of course how the team did with that small ball lineup once Larry went out?
I thought we did okay. I thought I was able to, stop some of his drives, drive into the lane, rebound a little bit with him out there. He spaced the floor a little bit, but they got a lot of guys that can do a lot of stuff on the floor. The whole starting five can shoot the basketball from the three. They can cut, they can pass. And, it wasn't just about Chet. It's our whole defense. We got to magnify everybody on the floor and what they do well and just try to take it away.
Yeah, would you say that, have you felt the same since coming back from injury? Like your conditioning level, your rhythm, do you feel like you've hit that same level you were before your injury at all since you've come back?
Oh, I felt like I've had spurts where I feel good, but not completely. Of course, I'm not happy with none of my performances from the playoffs. So I don't think I'm myself completely, but I continue to push forward and try to find mine. But also, I can't just worry about myself. I got to worry about my teammates and putting the ball on the money, making sure that they're in rhythm. And, if they're in rhythm, then I'm sure they'll find me in rhythm too.
Yeah, Trey came in here and said a lot of times people view basketball as only results, not only the work that's put in. Is there anything that you or the teammates think you can pull from the first three games that may give you a little confidence heading into game 4?
Yeah, I think we can all look at our mistakes. We can all, when we, I think as players, when we all struggle with confidence, we go look at our highlights. We go look at different things that we do well and just try to go do it the next game. I think from this point, I think we go look at our defense, including myself individually, individual defense, and how we can help each other on the defensive end, and then get out on the offensive end, and then we can talk about offense. But, us individually and as a team, we gotta step up and bring some of these numbers down.
Thank you, Chef.
All right, that's BI. All right, thank you, All World Trucker. Says, CQ, why is it both New Orleans franchises always attract and settle for losing head coaches, players, and front office personnel? Are we that soft as a city? I don't, bro. It's a troubling trend. Dennis Allen, to me, we already know how I feel about that guy. Willie Green. Oh no, we don't need to hear from this guy. But Willie Green, to me, Willie Green to me is just I don't get him. Willie Green with all this small ball bullshit. He don't have any other strategies to when the small ball don't work. Just get smaller. Just keep doing it. I was trying to generate some offense. How? You got shooters on. You got shooters. Maybe you can incorporate your lineup. It just if I'm trying to get offense by playing more defense. I don't get what Willie Green's doing. I disagree with it, but thank you for the super chat, All World Trucker. I don't get it either, bro. It's very an interesting dynamic that we got going on here. We got the same ownership group over both these teams, and we having similar issues with head coaches. Willie Green is a very limited coach. He's very stubborn. He only knows one or two things that he can do. He's not a very diverse thinker insofar as adjusting and doing different things. And it shows with the Pelicans record. It's like 0-25 or whatever it is in games.
0-26.
0-26 in games where they go into the fourth quarter without the lead. And then that's so much data behind that, so much stuff behind that, statistics and everything. He doesn't even attend. It gets no attention. That is a major problem. But anyway, Lex, thank you for your super chat. Lex, what's your notes that you wanted to drop on us?
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to play Mr. McCollum.
Nah, I don't think we need to hear from CJ McCollum. You'll sound even better than that BI did.
Yeah.
Except with a wine overlay.
You know, I'm not feeling anything. I'm not feeling anything that Brandon is saying. It's like, you know, did you know that the series started? You know, it's like, you know, just I don't know, man. I'm confused. But these are a few things that I looked at. One thing that Shaq said, and this is all verbatim. I'm disappointed in New Orleans. Where they going, Chuck? So Chuck, Charles Barkley, he basically said Galveston. That dirty A water, we're not even gonna send them to Cancun. We're gonna still send them to Galveston, where that dirty water be washed up on the shore. Okay.
I can get behind that. I can agree with the Pelicans. They're just a disappointment. The goal was to make the playoffs and then utterly just get destroyed by whatever team they face. They didn't. There's no extra energy to just push themselves up. There's no confidence. There's no nothing.
There are no other gears. And the thing is, clearly, that lackadaisical, laid back attitude. I'm gonna use it in this way. It's consumed the locker room. Like, you know how they were talking about with Lonzo Ball, like his laid back attitude. And it's like, you know, dude, at some point in time, you're going to have to lose that. And you're going to have to, play with a little bit more something, like, you know what I'm saying? And not play so laid back. I mean, when you look at this team, it's almost there's a huge clash, because it's like it's almost like any type of dog that some players do have on this team, you really don't see it, because it's out muscled by this laid back attitude. And attitude reflects leadership, right? Your attitude. So if you have a laid back, lackluster attitude, okay, that's going to consume the locker room, the players, how players come out and approach the game. And there is too much of that on this team. There's too much of it. Like, that's not Like, we have to change that right there. You all have heard me say many a times, this team needs to play with violence. Well, you know why the violence isn't coming like it should? Because, again, that laid back, lackluster attitude is consuming the locker room. It's consuming these players. I mean, this team has a coach that is not all the way in for his players. Well, how do you know that, Lex? Well, I'll tell you.
Shit, he said it.
When you get up
I ain't
and
taking no
say,
punts.
when you get up and say that, no, I'm going to keep my money in my pocket, dog, that tells me that you are not locked into this game. You're not locked in. You have one foot out. You have one foot in and one foot out. So it's like, look, I'm going to coach good enough where, I can keep my job, but I'm not trying to lose no money for this team. I'm not trying to lose no money to back up my star player. I'm not trying to lose no money. I'm trying to keep my money in my pocket, even though I got an extension secretly. So whatever money you were losing, it was compensated, Willie. It was compensated. You're not locked in. You're not all the way in with your team. You've been bought and paid for. So every time I'm listening to this dude talking about his faith and everything, no, chicken, your faith is it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's I just had it. So sorry. I don't know, it's gonna come to me. But the thing is that's not gonna do it. Having one foot in and one foot out is not gonna do it. And I don't feel like Willie's been all the way in. When you're saying things like that, I won't waver. You're saying that you're not trying to get better as a coach. I'm going to continue to do the things, we gotta, we gotta continue to go with the plan. If the plan is not working, you have to change the plan, Willie. You're forcing something like to stay the same course with the plan and expect different results is insanity. That's crazy. Are y'all understand what I'm saying, man? Like you can't that doesn't make any sense. You can't expect different results if you're doing something that continues not to work. That don't make no sense. If you want different results, then try something different. Do something different. Try different lineups. Try to do pick and rolls with certain players. You saw something was good. Don't go away from it, Willie. Don't go against nature. Go with nature. Go with the flow and the vibe of the game. There's a feel of the game, and you have to go with the flow. It's just like if you're on a boat is on a river and the tides are leading you a certain way. Do you think you're going to turn the boat and go the opposite direction? No, the boat is going to go with the tides. It's going to go with the flow of the water. And maybe at best you can act as a guide, but that's about it because nature is going to do what nature's going to do. Stop fighting nature. Follow the flow of the game. Feel the flow of the game. Feel the vibe of the game and go with it. If it works, don't go away from it. Keep going to it until the other team makes an adjustment, and then it forces you to make an adjustment to that. Don't make an adjustment before because you're just supporting the other team. Whose side are you on? Whose side are you on? This is the same things that we've been talking about all season. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. Like you gotta do better than that. And let me tell you something. Game 1 was the Pelicans' best game. That was the Pelicans' best game. And that was OKC's worst game. Did you all get that? Game 1 was the Pelicans' best game. And it was OKC's worst game. Because since then, I don't know if you all noticed anything. OKC actually got better. In game 1, OKC was just missing their 3-point shots. They were missing shots that they usually make. Henceforth, look at these other 2 games that they've won. You see how they've been draining all their shots. It seems like everything's just going in. That's how
Yep.
they play. That's OKC.
Hmm.
And guess what? You want to know something else? Have you
Mm.
all noticed that OKC hasn't made any changes?
Nope, they're playing the way they usually play.
They're playing the same as they were in game 1, but they're just making shots. Oh yeah, and they stopped doubling. They stopped doubling on Jonas. You want to know why? Because they understood that Trey was very important. And they were like, you know what? We don't want that guy to go off. Everybody stay home. Don't double him. If JV gets his points, let him get his points. I was shocked when they did that.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh man, the Pelicans got a huge problem. Because now the gravity that JV had was non-existent. They're like, you know what? We're going to bank. OKC basically banked on their defense. They banked on their one-on-one. They banked on, hey, Chet, we believe in you. You're going to hold your ground against JV. Nobody is coming to help you. You stand your ground and you do the best you can on that man, because we're not sending anyone to help you. Everybody is staying home, and we're going to play that stellar defense.
Mhm.
That's what they did. And it's worked. You know why? Because the Pelicans didn't have an answer. Actually, you know what? You know what the answer was? You know what? JV, we've been giving it to JV and JV's been successful. You know what? Let's go away from JV.
Yeah.
Let's go away from him. Let's start going to Brandon, a guy who's basically, as far as that star, like, no, dude, you're a role player. Lou Dort is the star. That dude was drained 3 straight threes against you. 3 straight threes. And he's making it difficult for you on defense. It's like this was basically like the Lou Dort show. It was the Lou Dort show. This was his time to shine. Hey, let me tell you something. If Lou Dort is up for a contract extension, let me tell you something. He's earning it right now. He's earning it. Good job, Lou. Good job, dog. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you something. The way that he's playing against Brandon, it's like he's also taking all the attention away from Herb. I don't think I've heard anybody say not on Herb here of late.
Yeah, yeah, he's been forced into trying to add to the team scoring dynamic. You see him trying to score as well, but
Yeah.
it's very interesting. Herb outscored Trey today, so it's to how the OKC is.
Look at that. That's crazy.
I know.
So Lou Dort, man, Lou Dort was outshining Herbert Keyshawn Jones.
Yep, he was and giving BI all kind of problems, man.
Yeah, basically. It's like it's like, is Lou Dort a superstar? You know what I'm saying? Because if all the Pels are going to do is lean on, Brandon and not really emphasize ball movement and player movement, which I kept saying that, like, really, clearly Brandon didn't have it going. CJ definitely didn't have it going. And I don't know if y'all noticed, the OKC, whoever, you can name any player on OKC. It can be anybody, Big Q.
Humpback Williams.
Huh?
Humpback Williams.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They were hunting CJ. They were attacking him on defense like it was like they saw barbecue chicken.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a lion who saw a gazelle or a zebra or something. I mean, they were attacking. It could have been anybody. Everybody on OKC attacked the living snot out of CJ. And they were successful. CJ was making everybody on OKC's team look like a star. Yeah, there you go, Kevin. Rotisserie.
Yep.
Who else got, whatever you can think of. Rotisserie, fried chicken, barbecue, ribs, whatever you want to call it. I mean, they were eating. They were eating CJ for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They were just killing it. Everybody. I mean, even what's his name? The dude went to Utah, to Boston, to Charlotte, to OKC. What is his name? Hayward. Thank you. Even Hayward attacked that dude. And Hayward hasn't even been doing anything in this series. I'm like, dog, it's bad when somebody, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, Josh Giddey was doing some and one stuff against crossing CJ up, making him turn in circles and stuff. Did you see that play?
Yes. Yeah.
They had it on repeat.
Yeah. It's and that's the thing, man. The Pelicans is just right. They're a joke. They took all whatever energy they had to get them into the playoffs, and they have nothing to give. The only reason why the first game was close is because OKC was rusty.
Yeah, basically.
We got the game won.
Worst game.
Worst
and they
game.
got better.
And they became what they were. They started playing the game the way they're supposed to play it through Shea. But shout out to Brother Aramis. Thank you for this one. Super chat. My brother, he says that just one game turned into a better not lose one more game. Thank you, bro. Appreciate
that mentality that Aramis, it's not, the team's not playing to win. They're playing not to lose. There's a difference. There's a difference. And that's from the jump. That's from the jump, man. I mean, it's like, this team never got into that playoff mode. They still not in the playoff mode. I'm listening to them, and I didn't see it. In that last game, oh my gosh. Even in Willie, when you look at his face, what do you see, Big Q?
Confusion. A guy that don't exactly have the answers. It's just I don't get any confidence by listening to him. He's starting to
look, nobody can gain any confidence when you listen to Brandon just now, when you listen to CJ, when you listen to Willie. Like, does anybody feel confident? Does anybody believe that they can win the next game?
Lex, Brandon Ingram sound like he just left a funeral. He didn't sound like we gonna listen.
Like that. Yeah,
we just got this when they got us this time, but we be back. There's none of that going on.
You're not gonna be back. He probably already got what he plans to do after this series is over. I'm not a bet woman, but I'm willing to bet he probably does. Him and some of the other guys on the team. I know CJ does. Shoot, you don't got to tell. I know with every fabric of my being, he already got something planned. He a politician. That's what politicians do, right?
Yeah, he got a wine contract and a few contracts to negotiate, making that $30+ million from us. Here it is right here, Lex. I think this is what you're talking about what they said about the Pelicans. Here we go. Y'all put one in the chat up here.
Disappointing on us. Where they going, Chuck? Galveston? That dirty ass water. We're not even gonna send them to Cancun. We're gonna send them to Galveston with that dirty ass water be washing up on the shore. You people think they're in the beach. Y'all we gonna send y'all to Cancun. Y'all drive y'all quit. Drive your ass down to Galveston.
Take Greyhound.
Come on, man.
So they're not taking a little.
Come on, they didn't even try, man. We're not getting them no plane ticket to the beach. We sitting there as to Galveston, Texas, right where that dirty water washed up on the beach. They can't even get in the water.
Pelicans not joke.
Yep.
They're joke.
And this ain't the first time we've said this, man.
They're a joke, man. The Pelicans are a flipping joke. People are getting their jollies off on the Pelicans. They are a joke. A freaking joke. But go ahead, Lex. Go ahead. Back to you.
No, it's just, I mean, we can either be, deceive ourselves, but I mean, this team has to understand Like, you're not respected around the league. You're not respected. You're not respected.
You know what's cool, Lex? I think they cool with that. That's cool. They straight.
Yeah, but it's like, again, the fan base. It's like, because I mean, look, we come on this stream after the games. Look at how many people come out to support, man.
Right.
And shout out to all of you all,
Big up.
taking out the time to do this, man. Like, that's what I'm looking at. It's like the organization shows time and time again that you don't care, but you have people in here, fans that are in here that take out their time in whatever you're doing, because I'm pretty sure you all have other things, better things you could be doing right now, and you come on here and it's like, this is just like what Shaq and Chuck were saying. And the thing is, it's like, you care to a certain point, but it's like the organization is not showing that same passion, that
Yes.
same desire, that same energy, that same effort.
Yep.
And it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not right. It's just, all this is just really sad. It's really sad. And it hits different when it's like, dag, man. It's like, here I am up in here, and we got to go through this. Look, and it's not just the team that's taking all this. This is fans too.
Yeah.
It's like, do you all, anybody in the chat feel confident going to the barbershop, going out of state? Be like, oh yeah, yeah, I'm a Pelicans fan. Pelicans, what? Okay, all right, dog. All right, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you can't even talk to extended family or friends from other states. You know what I'm saying? You can't even talk about your team confidently, because this is what's going on.
Yep. Yeah.
You in
That's
the middle of the playoff, playing on TNT, nationally televised. You know what I'm saying?
what's the? Well, I'm gonna have to look that up. What's the Pelicans? What's hold on just a second. What is the Pelicans' record in terms of them being on national televised, on games like primetime games?
Well, that's a good point.
What's the record there? Because
I'm not sure.
them showing up like this is unbelievable to me. This is the playoffs, and
Yeah.
they struggled to get one win to get it. It took them 3 tries before they finally got a win to to secure a playoff berth. Then they get in the playoffs. The Thunder basically was trying to give the Pelicans the game in game 1. The stupid Pelicans didn't capitalize. And OKC came away with a short win. Then they come back in the second game, blow the Pelicans off the map, and
by 30.
Then they come back in the Pelicans arena and blow them out. And the Pelicans, who only could score 92 points in games 1 and then 92 in games 2, scored 85 tonight against this team.
They didn't even get to the 90s.
They couldn't even get to the 90s. It went backwards.
How do y'all feel about the 90s now?
Jeez.
Look, we need some 90s basketball. Big Q.
Lord.
Oh, goodness gracious. I don't want to hear nobody talking bad about the 90s, because at least they balled, man. At least they balled.
Jeez Louise, man. I tell you what, man. But Lex, let's kind of move it forward if we can. The matchup for game 4 is Monday. And some kind of way, I know you're going to laugh at me when I ask you this, but we got to kind of talk about it because I know it's going to be sad.
No, it's just, look, I just heard Brandon talking.
Sound awful. The guy sounds terrible, man. Like I said, it sounds like he just came from a funeral.
Yeah.
It is game number 4. You're facing elimination. Monday night rather. Man, what happens? Y'all chime in the chat. Y'all tell me, how do y'all feel? Do y'all think the Pelicans win? And they are facing elimination. Something's got to happen. I feel like it's going to be a sweep because the Pelicans haven't showed me anything this entire
Wow.
season.
They haven't made not one adjustment. Actually, they're going away from what was working. You know, I mean, JV didn't even start in the second half. And it's like, okay, JV was at least scoring. You know what I'm saying? The problem was the outside shooting. Nobody was hitting from the outside. And then Brandon, he's settling for jump shots.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, nobody was attacking the basket. But so I'm gonna be honest, Big Q. Um, I'm listening and I'm looking at the attitude, and that's gonna reflect what we see in the next game. And then just being honest, this team doesn't have anything else to give. Even what they're giving is not a whole lot. I'm not trying to be depressing, but I'm just going off of the attitude the vibes that I'm getting from Brandon, the vibes that I'm getting from CJ, and those are supposed to be the leaders of the team, right?
Mhm. Yeah, right now, yes.
They're supposed to be, you know, the best players on the team as of right now. And
Yep.
I haven't seen any best. I know Brandon scored 19. I'm looking at the 19. The 19 was not impactful. Henceforth, what was the score again? 106-85.
Hmm.
Okay, so that wasn't impactful. So that's like null and void. We're seeing more from the role players that actually are entitled that, because really what I'm seeing is nothing, I'm seeing role players in CJ and Brandon as well, as far as what they're played. Because like I said, Lou Dort looks like a superstar. I mean, he's out playing on both Brandon on both ends of the floor. So I mean, maybe something will happen, but at this point, I think it's kind of too late. You know what I'm saying? You know, timing is everything. So it's like, the adjustments, everything, the Pelicans have looked the same. I mean, the way that they lost today was similar fashion to the game before. Now they did have more energy, obviously, because they were at home. But other than that, I mean, it was basically the same script. I mean, it was the same trend, and they don't look any better. The turnovers are atrocious. The defense doesn't look good. The coaching doesn't look good. JV, again, Willie lost, trust in JV. But yeah, as far as, anything different, I'd be surprised at this point. Because, I still kind of feel like they're stuck in regular season mode. They're not in the playoffs mentally. And even performance wise. The Pels aren't in playoff mode. They're in regular season mode. And that's not even saying a whole lot because of the lack of consistency in playing at a high level every single night. You're starting to see those flaws and those things really hit home
Hmm.
on the biggest stage. Everything that we talked about all season, you're seeing those things that they did not address. They're all being basically thrown in the face. So I'm not seeing much difference. I mean, what is he going to put Jayhawk in? Is he going to start Jayhawk?
No, he ain't gonna start no Jayhawk.
Matt Ryan, is he going to put him out there?
That's-
Is he gonna bench Brandon and CJ and rely strictly on the role players who have been collectively performing way better than those two?
no, of course not.
Yeah. So
That's the
if
problem.
he's not doing that, then I mean that's just where we're at, and we know the answer.
But
I mean, those were
but-
just simple things.
But the thing is, too, I don't think Willie's. I don't think Willie's not a strategist. He's not, man.
Yeah.
He's as basic of a coach, a head coach you're gonna get. Just a basic dude, no speciality whatsoever, no unique philosophy. Very basic, very basic, very basic coach. You know, he's a nice guy, but in terms of his strategy and all that, man, this dude is as base as you could possibly get. But in terms of the team is facing elimination. So it's two things here that I look at. Number one, they're facing it. Like I said, they're facing elimination to this OKC squad. They're at home. So we have to call upon the pride if they got any goddamn pride left to not let you get swept at home or not get eliminated at home. At least try to push the series to an additional game by not allowing the team to sweep you at home. Now, when I'm saying desperation, because they're facing elimination, he can't spin this like some weak ass motivational thing where we're gonna be all right. No, it's one and you're done. So you have to change up certain things for these last three games, especially the last two. Of course, the Pelicans were manhandled and annihilated by OKC, not even close in their building and in our building. So at some point, Willie Green got to turn to those assistant coaches and ask them, what the hell do we got to do to get at least one win to make it respectable? Because winning 49 games during the regular season and then going home in a sweep in the playoffs doesn't help you in your bid to try to get people to buy tickets and try to get a brand new goddamn arena. That just won't work. 49 wins, tied for second most wins. They had the best roads record in the entire NBA, and then you get swept in the first round to OKC. That just takes all the lack off it. So there's going to be an era of desperation that they change up a few things, and I'm telling you, only because of this moment that all the crap that he tried to do has failed miserably, that he'll turn to them coaches and literally start taking suggestions. Now, if they do get the win, his dumb ass will turn back to what he was before, and they'll end up losing the game. That's what kind of dude we got here. So at the end of the day, I do think they might. I don't think they'll go in there and do the same stuff. I think they'll try to turn it up and do something different. But I think that they'll try to try to do as much as they can to try to stave off elimination. All of them are feeling that. So, like I said, man, I don't. He got to turn to Borrego. Borrego is just a way more a better coach than Willie Green could ever possibly. He understands defense. He understands offense. When Willie Green got sick, that's when the Pelicans really turned it on. And I wish that he had been sick. Sorry to say that. He should have stayed out for at least a week or some shit so that we can really see some of that philosophy take shape even further so and not be drowned out by his foolish defensive philosophies. And when things don't work, to keep going smaller and keep going more defensive, looking for offense. That makes no sense. And I'm pretty sure somebody trying to tell him, hey, bro, we got to switch this up. We can't keep doing the same bullshit. These people blowing us out over the last two games. With that being said, that's why I say I think that they'll change. Now, will it be enough to win the game? That's a whole nother thing, because they are facing factors in the matchup that they don't have any control over. I mean, Chet Holmgren scored 6 points tonight. He's not going to score 6 points in that game 4. He's gonna try to get what he usually gets, and then Shea is going to do his thing. They have not been able to slow him down and stop him. He's facilitating. He's doing his thing. Lou Dart's playing defense and then hitting threes. Williams is knocking down shots and throwing and yelling and shit, doing all this bullshit out there, barking
They
and
haven't stopped anything. They haven't taken away anything from OKC.
That's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, the Pelicans have to switch it up and do a lot of stuff different facing the elimination. That's all I can say. Will that be enough? I'm gonna have to say no, but they're gonna try to give it their all. So we're gonna see what it looks like, man. This is pathetic as it get. We got a team that won 49 games. Listen, I'm not gonna let them let this shit down though, because I know what David Griffin is gonna do. The dude gets up there, he's full of shit. I've been saying this about David Griffin for years, and then I know these people listen to the show because when we was doing shows talking about what the Pelicans could do, they did exactly what we said what they should do. It is not a coincidence that we've sitting up here for years talking about with the Pelicans getting rid of Gentry and this is stupid and that is stupid. Why you did that and all this kind of stuff. And them people did everything that we said they should do. They did it. That shit ain't no coincidence. Then one of the biggest indicators, that dude's always been a vocal dude running his goddamn mouth, David Griffin, standing in front of the camera. Then he disappeared from the camera, started staying out of the public's view, stop having so much stuff. Man, we were saying that dude don't need to be visual. Why? Where's Trajan Langdon? Never seen Trajan Langdon. We was making mind fucking jokes over here about Trajan Langdon. Thought he didn't even have a voice. I was doing mime interpretations up here. And then all of a sudden, here come Trajan Langdon having the press conference. Man, come on, man. At the end of the day, the Pelicans, they can't beat us, man. 49 wins and getting swept in the playoffs. We're not going to let you use that. And it took the Pelicans 3 times in the playoff and the win. It took them 3 attempts to finally get a berth into the playoffs. They lost the regular season matchup, which got them in there. Then they lost the first play-in matchup. And they finally beat Sacramento to get in there. And then they get swept. They're about to get ran up out of their own building. That's not a flex at all, man, to win 49 games and get marched out the playoffs and 4. Well, Zion wasn't there. That was the problem. You see, Zion wasn't there. Zion would play.
Hey, you know what? Hey, let me tell you something.
Shit, man, I ain't got time for dumb shit for people, man. It always got with these excuses and deflections for the Pelicans' sorriness, man. Zion been banged up for the most of the time that he's been here. The team is a good team around him. You got to learn how to use these players. And just because Zion's not there, the team forgot how to play defense. Guys forgot how to do intelligent stop doing dumb shit like trying to play ISO ball, CJ dribbling, and Willie sitting his bell pepper nose ass up there looking at him, not saying nothing. I don't understand, man. And at the end of the day, guess what? They got extensions. What's the years on the extensions? I don't know, because they don't want to tell your ass. So, I mean, this is just more garbage and crap and trash from the Pelicans. And now Charles flipping Barkley and Shaq sitting up there laughing their ass off about the Pelicans on national television. And all the Pelicans do when they get on national television is get their ass knocked off. So in the end, Lex, I'm going to let you have it. That's on you.
Like, just collectively, like, I'm pretty much done with like somebody said in the chat, I forget who it was, as far as this experiment with Zion and Brandon and CJ. You know, it's a 3-ring circus. Like this, like I think the data has been collected. Like there has to be changes made to this team. And there is something that I saw that someone wrote. Let me go back to it because I thought it was a really good point. Hakeem Batiste, he said, Houston will be good next year. Memphis gets Ja back next year. We ain't making the playoffs next year. San Antonio will be better next year too.
Shout out to you, brother Hakeem, bro. Good to see you in here, man. Much love. Yeah, that's it. They coming. They come. Remember, and we talked about this before we got to this point, though, fam, because it was getting real tight. And at the time, Houston was on an 11-game winning streak. They were running it. And then I said, well, family, they about to fall out of that thing. Don't expect that to happen next year, because they're building that team. The guy, he's gonna refine his system. They're going to get better. San Antonio will get better. They're going to expedite the process.
Ain't no doubt these teams are coming.
They're coming.
That's why it's so important.
Memphis gets Ja. Hakeem's Memphis gets him back. They're going to be better. It's going to be something tough next year. Ain't no doubt.
And they're all in this division, right?
That's
all
right.
Those teams, they're all in the Pelicans and the Mavs, same division. Like this is coming. Like that's why it's so important for the Pelicans to be proactive and not reactive. Like I know we talk about this and make fun of them all the time, but we see how the Lakers, it's like they got their hand in everything. They trying to get everybody. You know what? That's one thing that I can admire about them. You know why? Because they're trying to get better. Something that this organization is not doing. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to continue to get better, to better your roster, to better your situation. I said a few streams ago that the team was 40 before the playoffs started. They were 49 and what?
49 and 33, is it? Was it 49 and 33?
I wanted to say 30. I just wanted to be sure. Okay, but last season, if the Pelicans had this record, they would have been the number 3 seed. Okay? With this record, 49-33, the Pelicans were basically the 8th seed.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 seed to the number 8th seed at 49-33. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The league is getting better.
Yeah.
The West is getting better. Teams are getting better. They're not trying to be stagnant. They're not trying to go backwards. And that's the mistake that this team has been making. They're not being assertive. They're not being aggressive on making this team better. And so therefore, instead of getting better, if you're stagnant, guess what? You are getting worse. You're not growing. If you're not growing, you're not. If you're just staying in the same place, that's not growth. That's actually going backwards. Going backwards is going backwards. Being stagnant is going backwards. Moving forward is going forward. There is no in between. You can't be stagnant. You can't do that. So I mean, therefore, like if you look at things like we didn't grow. Every teams around the Pelicans really grew. They really got better. They really got better. This record that the Pelicans have right now would have had the Pelicans in the 3rd seed last season. Last season. That should tell you everything. Teams got better. The division got better. The Western Conference got better. It's like, Pelicans got to step it up. They really got to step it up. I really do feel like they've collected enough data about this team and about this organization, but maybe not because, Griff was re-signed to an extension. Willie Green was re-signed to a new extension. So it'll be interesting to see, what's going to transpire from here on out, because right now, as we speak, like it's looking pretty scary. Like not a whole lot may not change, which is really hard to fathom. But I do want to make this point though. During the game, I thought this was kind of funny. It wasn't until in the 4th quarter, at the 8-11 mark, where the Pelicans scored their 70th and 71st points in the game. Those were their first points in the 4th quarter at the 8-11 mark.
Mm-hmm.
And that came at the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a crazy stat. Okay, 8-11 in the 4th quarter. You think they would have woke up and really made a push, but it took that long for them to get their first points in the 4th quarter. So
it's awful, man. But that's par for the course for the Pelicans, man. Like I said, I just don't like the fact that it's just we don't have. Griffin is a guy, I think, and that's just me. I just think David Griffin is a guy, a little bit basketball, but I think a lot of the championship that he picked up in Cleveland that's LeBron orchestrating that. LeBron telling him what players he wants and how he wants to go. He does that. You're not going to just sit up there and he comes in there, he tells you that, we need this guy, we need that guy, and then you go out and get him. David Griffin was basically a Mickey Lomas, and basically LeBron was like Sean Payton, if we're going to use football terminology. He told him what to do and he went and did it. But he can't duplicate the success that he had in Cleveland. Now, granted, the Pelicans are showing success, but the Pelicans overall have been a losing franchise. I hate when I hear Stephen A. Smith get up there and talk about it, but he got a point. I try to defend him to the best of my ability, but there's no defending the failure that this franchise has represented over the many years. They're skipping years before they get opportunities to get into the playoffs. And then when they finally get an opportunity to get in the playoffs, they getting ready to get swept on up out of there. The crazy part about the process is that even though these people got contract extensions, the team that they currently have is at the end of is at the end of the window of opportunity that they have. You already paying BI a lot of money, and for overall, BI has been a good player for the Pelicans for a very long time. He spent a lot of time playing here with Zion, was sitting on the bench or sitting on the rehab bench. He was the first option in many games, but that wasn't enough. He gave us the best that he can get. He done gave, and now it's time to reshape this thing. It's no giving him no more money. The $30 million that he got is enough, and the team is not going anywhere. It's not. So we need to move this on about it. As CJ McCollum needs to, and if you get rid of BI, you decide to trade BI or get up off BI's contract, because after next year he's a free agent. So the decision will have to be made next year after 2025. I'm saying, but the decision has to be made on what to do with this guy. And if he goes, if that's when you're going to have to make a decision this upcoming summer, because if he goes, then CJ McCollum needs to go too.
Yeah, and Willie needs to go too.
They're not going to give Willie.
And Griff needs to go.
They all need to go. But we don't have anybody.
JV, he's already gone. You know what I'm saying? You don't think he sees how he's being used? If Willie is a huge problem. We really do need to change the coaching. That's a huge problem for this team.
But
because the thing is, he's not. Look, you have some hairstylists that promote growth, okay? And you have some hairstylists that they don't promote growth. We want to stay away from them. We want hair growth. That's the same thing. Like, this dude does not promote growth. He doesn't. And this isn't a healthy situation. It really isn't. Because it's going to be much of the same thing. Because look, you know how we all talked about we needed shooters on this team? We needed a shooter.
We picked
up a shooter in the draft, right? We also signed a 3-year deal to another shooter.
Yep.
Did we use the shooters? Raise your hand if we used the shooters.
You didn't use the shooters. Even Herb Jones became a better shooter.
That's my point. Like, what good is it to get the pieces that we need? A defensive big man, a shot blocker, right? We've talked about this stuff. To get another 3-and-D guy or something. I don't know. To get a point guard. We've talked about this, right? We talked about all these things that the Pelicans need. What good is it to have all those things and you don't use them? You don't use your weapons. That's Willie.
You don't know his personnel.
He's sitting. He's gonna sit everything that the fans and clearly that the organization, because they've said the things that the Pels need. But what good is it to go get those pieces and this man does not use them? He's not using his weapons. He doesn't know his player personnel. He doesn't know how to maximize the strengths of the players so they can play together. That's a problem. That's a huge part of coaching. To be able to position your players, look, everybody has strengths and weaknesses. But how can you maximize the strengths of your players to do the things that they need to do so that the car is operative? You need the engine to act as the engine. You gotta look. Your car's gonna need an oil change. You gotta make sure that that's right. You have to service different things in order for the car to go. That's important. If you're not doing those things to help the car get from point A to point B, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna work. It's not going to work. There's those pieces have to work and coexist and operate together in order for the car to function. And right now, this is a dysfunctional car. And with that man at the helm, it's dysfunctional even more. I mean, from top to bottom, it's already dysfunctional. But the coaching is a whole nother dysfunction in itself.
It's the biggest and major dysfunction of them all, because he governs. It's like a governor on a big truck. He slows them down with slow transitions and adjustments. He doesn't know his personnel, like Antonio Daniels talking about KYP. He doesn't know his personnel. He doesn't trust these young players and other players to help him out. You need shooting and scoring. Jayhawk is sitting on the bench. Matt Ryan, he's a rookie. Well, admit about Matt Ryan, he's not a rookie. He can help you. Doesn't play because he ain't. I'm talking about Willie's IQ as a man. I'm talking about basketball IQ. Doesn't either have the confidence or courage or whatever you want to call it to utilize. He don't have to go 8 people deep. He can go 9. He can go 10 people deep. This is a deep team. He can do it, but that's based on the coach's ability to make sure players get in
This is
there.
a deep team, though. The way he uses
No,
players,
because
it's not a deep
it's
team.
lazy
He makes
coaching.
this team like not a deep team,
But it's
whatever that
lazy.
word is.
Lex is lazy coaching because if you have, you have, you can go 10 deep in the playoffs where people get their rest or whatnot. You don't have to overstack minutes on your best players. If you don't have to, you can run rotations where everybody can have an opportunity to get rest. We don't have to, kind of do this type of stuff that he'd like run the eight man rotations, all this kind of stuff. That's him not figuring out what he got to do. And that's something that he's been doing all damn season long. We was having problems with that early in the year with him figuring out the rotations off the bench because he didn't figure out who he needed to play. Then guys will start balling. He'll take them and set them on the bench. He doesn't have any rhyme or reason, no commonsensical strategy to how he would use his bench. And in games like this, in a series like this, you need your bench to help with your starting 5. And if the 5 is not producing, the bench is not producing, you get games where you only score 85 points. And then it's all tamped down and they demoralize. So the Pelicans right now, the last 2 games, they're totally demoralized. BI talked about lost confidence. We got some kind of way gather our confidence. You shouldn't even be talking like that.
I mean, the way he said it is like, dog.
Yeah, but he's melancholy already. He's already.
It's like, man, we got to find a way to find our confidence. We got to do it now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
do it like that.
That's how you needed to be talking.
I know.
That's how you need to be talking. Like you talking to yourself while you talking to the media. Man, this was unacceptable. We got to do better than what we did.
Yeah.
I mean, something like.
And I just don't like the fact that
they do better.
But look at it. It's the stuff like the national stuff, and
you know what I'm saying?
It's sad because it's the national stuff. The people making fun of the Pelicans. They out there getting ran out of the building in playoff series in their own gym. The family members booing them. The national media saying, "See, we don't need to talk about this team. This team they're not built like that. They're not cut like that."
Don't nobody want to talk about that. And that's why. Look,
they're cool with that shit.
Everybody's on Zion. That's why Shaq and on when they after the Pels beat Sacramento when they interviewed Brandon. And that's why they were acting like that. You know what? Everything that they asked as far as Brandon, and Brandon had that attitude, and everybody was saying that Brandon had that look in his eye. Brandon didn't have no look in his eye. Brandon talks the talk, but he don't always show up. Let's keep it 100. Because he didn't show up. The thing is, they had a point. Because they felt like, man, the Pelicans can't do this without. They definitely can't do it without Zion. And clearly, you're making that true. Whether it is true or not, guess what? You're making it true. Because you know what? Look at your performance. He's like, I think they asked the question. You ever think about the games where OKC beat you all in regular season? And Brandon was like, "No, I'm just thinking about the game that we lost against OKC in the play-in from last season." Y'all remember when he said that in that interview after the Kings game?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he was saying. And then he looked at the camera and kind of had that look like, "Yeah, I know what y'all said about me." Well, the thing is, Brandon, it's like that came and went. It came and went.
Mm-hmm.
Where was that energy? Where was that energy since then? You didn't have it during the Lakers. Okay, he's coming off of an injury. All right, that's cool. You beat the Kings. Well, since then, that's when the interview took place. You haven't had that energy. So they're well within their rights. You've basically proven what they said on that day during that interview. You've proven them right because you didn't carry that energy over to the first round of the playoffs. And I look, if anybody believes that the Pelicans are going to come back, okay, 0-3, I just want you to go look in the mirror again, okay? And I think it's been a long time. Nobody's done that. It's so the analytics as far as with that coming back down 0-3, it's not feasible, okay? Especially when you look at the performance of this team. Yeah, I mean, we know that that's not going to happen. No, we're not trying to be like, hopeless or anything, but we know for sure that that's not going to happen. Even if they do get a game against OKC, they're not coming back, back down from 0-3. This is not that same situation.
Now they can only hope to make it respectable, so to speak, and that's get at least one game out of OKC and not get swept in their own building, because that's something they probably will fight hard for, and that's all the energy and courage they probably got to fight for one game, which is really sad. But this seemed like the team is basically giving up. There's nobody champion this team. That's why I say it's time for some of this. This needs to go. We've seen this rendition of players for the last, especially McCollum and BI, for the last 3 to 4 years. And
Yeah.
we can't, the excuse of,
Willie's been here.
yes, this the excuse about, well, if Zion was healthy, the Pelicans would have did such and such. I'm not dealing with that.
No,
You got to make a move on it, because BI stuff coming
you
up.
still have to be able to coach the team. So what are you saying? Like, because the thing is that there's absolutely no talent on this team to win a game against OKC.
They have to. My mind is, if the Pelicans play like they're supposed to without Zion Williamson, they play defense and they play intelligent, they can make a series out of it. I think ultimately OKC will probably, depending on how well the Pelicans play defense, because their best player is basically getting whatever he wants when he wants, and then the others are contributing. Even Chet Holmgren didn't have a big game, and they still beat the Pelicans by 21 points. And Chet didn't have nothing. He had like a single 6 points or something like that. He wasn't even.
Dort woke up on today.
That's what I'm saying. He was playing defense and defense, giving them offense too. So their bench really didn't give him any points. It was basically 3 to 4 people, 3 people in the 20s that ran the Pelicans out the building playing defense and scoring in their own gym. So I mean,
layups and threes, open threes. Let me say that they had a lot of wide open threes. I'm like, are you serious? So y'all didn't want to play D. Y'all didn't want to defend the 3-point line today.
We got to look in a different direction now. We know that going down. If it's possible, to get one win, to get up enough to get one win. I don't think Zion Williamson makes it back for the playoffs, or this bull crap that they be telling you to hold on. And the team should make it respectable. But at the end of the day, I think once it all happens, we need the Pelicans really need to look at getting rid of these two $30 million players and resetting and doing something different. They need to find a point guard to distribute the ball, because the CJ thing, him operating the point guard, he's not disciplined enough to stop over dribbling and just keeping the ball and all this kind of stuff. And they stopped circulating the ball. What they had, like 16 assists tonight, some stupidness like that.
Yeah.
So it flies in the face of logic. Man had 18 assists tonight. And he preaches, we got to move the ball. We got to move the ball. The ball moved faster than any human in the history of the world.
I mean, faster than any dribble.
But this is the thing. What good is saying all that if you got 18 assists in the matchup when he's standing up there over dribbling? It's just ridiculous. It's time to get rid of that. We tried that.
The 0.5 offense. Remember that was supposed to be the bread and butter of the offense. That just went straight out the window, didn't it?
Straight out the window. Somebody asked me about how many turnovers. 21 turnovers. The Pelicans had more turnovers than they had assists. 21 turnovers versus 18 assists. I don't want to keep balling over.
And they were careless turnovers too. A lot of those turnovers. It's like the OKC didn't even do anything to really force it. I'm not saying it was all of them, but it's like I know Larry Nance, he just didn't catch it. I'm like, dog, why you want to go Butterfinger Nance today? Come
They
on,
shook.
man. Catch the ball. Catch the ball. You got, you know what I'm saying? Like, why can't y'all catch the ball?
People shook, man.
Why can't you catch the ball, man?
People
Hey,
shook.
I saw Bad Juju. He's
Shout
said
out to
you
Bad
can't
Juju,
expect a team to come back down 0-3 when they haven't come back to win in a fourth quarter all year. Henceforth 0-26. That was tough right there.
Hashtag 0-26. Let's start something new. Let's just throw it at the asses. Hashtag
Oh, goodness.
0-26 for the Pelicans, man. Hashtag 0-26. Why the Pelicans losing and don't have any, don't know how to win these close games, don't play with any intensity. Hashtag 0-26. That is awful, man. And Willie Green is not doing anything to fix that. Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Not even focusing on. You got more than enough film and everything you need to even take that, analyze, break it apart, come up with some solutions, and troubleshoot the hell out of that. Willie not even paying attention. Let's just keep on moving the ball and take 43s and just keep on doing it.
Did you see him on the bench?
Whatever, Willie.
When they put the camera on him. I mean, it's like dog, do you see the score?
Yeah, they shook.
I mean,
It shook. Lex, you remember that old song by Mobb Deep? Remember that old Mobb Deep song, Shook Ones? Remember that? You remember that song, Shook Ones by Mobb Deep? It's Shook Ones. It's a song about Mobb Deep is making, I ain't gonna say making fun, but he's calling out people in the song that he classifies as pretending to be strong, trying to pretend to be strong, but really deep down, they're scary. They're incompetent, and they're basically counterfeit. They're just wearing the appearance that they're strong and that they're G's, but deep down, they shook as hell.
Have the appearance, though.
They shook as hell when real ones show up. These some shook ones over here, Lex. That's all I'm trying to say.
You know what? Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's like he kind of like Lloyd a little bit. When Lloyd got around a certain group, you know, he was that big dude. But when he got around the heavy hitters, you know, with 50 and things, you know, he didn't rise to the occasion. Like he wanted to show his prowess when he was around guys that weren't as talented as him. But when he got around guys that were more talented than him, you know, he couldn't do it. He went up to par. So that's why they kind of separated there. But golly, I mean, yeah, Willie don't have it. He really does not have it. Yeah, when they put the camera on him, I was like, oh my gosh. Why is he all he is too cool over there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was chilling in his chair. Did y'all see him on the bench?
Got the money, he good. I got my extension. What y'all tripping on? See,
that's awful.
It is what it is, though. That's why how the team plays.
Yeah.
And regardless of how much talent you give, you can have two Zion Williamsons on this team. If this dude don't know how to utilize them, and he have bad rotation, people around.
I don't even think he utilizes Zion the best. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of that is Zion's doing. You know, because again, we've said many a time, Zion covers up a lot of holes for this team. He really does. Like Zion, and you have to think, this is crazy right here, y'all. Zion, not even in the best shape, was covering up holes for this team. Okay. Not even in the best shape. So him really, you know, being up to par as far as with his conditioning. I mean, he covered up even more holes, and you're definitely seeing that nobody has gravity on this team. If Zion's not out there, there's no gravity. And that's why I was saying, like, you know, obviously when they were doubling Jonas did have some gravity, but OKC basically like, you know what? Now, Chet, you're going to guard him one-on-one. We're not going to come and help. we're not going to support JV's gravity. We're going to stay home and we are going to live with whatever JV does. That's what the OKC coach basically did. And it worked. And I was like, wow. You see how bold that was?
Yeah.
That was, you know what I'm saying? That was a disadvantage, because that's one thing that I was saying, like when Jay Black and Don were on the stream. That's what I was basically saying. Like, yeah, because they have to double down on JV, and, we'll have shooters open. That was totally like out the window after game one. They just stayed home, and they were content in living with whatever JV did. Chet, do the best you can, but we believe in you. You got it. But we don't want this dude. We don't want him getting open and going off. And that was basically Trey, because we also said that Trey, he is the X factor. So, but one thing I saw Jay Black, he put something in here. OKC is the number 1 seed in the West. It is time to give them credit. This is why they are this good. 1 or 2 things you can take advantage of, but this team is elite. Well, they're showing it.
Well, I mean, you got a point there, Jay Black. Shout out to my dog, Jay Black. All I can say, bro, is the Pelicans making them look like they're elite.
Yeah.
Wide open 3-point. They're not playing. This is not NBA.
It's not a huge challenge from the Pels.
Right.
I mean, they ain't really feeling the
Right.
Pelicans.
Uncontested 3-point shots, dumbass offensive, low IQ by the Pelicans. Their defense non-existent, not circulating the ball, not playing through the right players, not putting the right players on the court. We got 2 7-footers. None of them get any minutes. I mean, throw a goon at the man. You got 7-footers. Use your 7-footers against him. We don't have to always do it. He has no alternative philosophy. We keep doing the same stuff that fails. So, I mean, we really making it easy. Now, listen, OKC has been good all damn year. They play really well. Shea is awesome. They got a good supporting cast with the William boys. With Lou Dort stepping up, he hit the 3-pointers tonight. Chet was blocking easy shots. He had 4 easy blocks on the Pelicans. He blocked Trey Murphy.
About that, Big Q.
He blocked down an easy fucking layup by CJ McCollum dancing and tried to take it up. Chet just went just knocked it down. He had 4 blocks tonight again, easy ass blocks on the Pelicans.
But how do you block a shot and you don't touch the ball? You get a whole lot of arm. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying with CJ, that was a block. Trey and Herb, all those were fouls. Those were not blocks.
Well, the play where he hit the last minute 3-pointer that Lou Dort jumped into his chest. The referees ain't giving the call. The referees is not good. The referees don't.
And you know what's crazy?
Either.
We can't even look at the refereeing. The refereeing has been bad, but there's been so many other things that the Pelicans have not been doing well that kind of just nullifies the reffing. Like, it's been that bad, their performance out on the court.
That's
you really can't look at it. Their energy, just missing assignments, wide open threes, that has nothing to do with the officiating.
That was
I have been upset with the officiating.
What's going on, fam?
All right, DC.
I got a question though, Lex. I got a question.
Okay.
Q.
Hold on, DC. We can't hear you, bro. You on the highway. You got your guitar with you?
Uh-oh.
I will crash if that happens.
Oh, the baby.
Oh my God.
I would crash if that happened.
Oh my goodness.
But I got a question though.
Oh, okay. Back to basketball.
Do you guys not think we say the refereeing has been bad? I think it's been some of the worst refereeing I've ever seen. Do y'all think that plays in a part in maybe the missed assignments, the lackadaisicalness, the not wanting to show up? I see a team that already looks defeated before the game even starts, and especially once they realize how it's going to be called. I think sometimes that plays a part in it as well. Am I tripping to see it that way, or am I being damage control? I'll let y'all answer.
I mean, I think the Pelicans they haven't been playing up to par, man. I mean, we've been there's been a problem with the refereeing for the Pelicans all season. But I'm looking at the way that they're playing, the way that they're, defensive assignments, like the cushion that OKC players had behind the arc between them and a Pels player. It's too much space. It's like, dog, what are you doing? The ill will turnovers. There's been a lot of unforced turnovers. A lot of unforced turnovers. Why are you not catching the ball? Why are you not making a good pass to your teammate? Like there's a lot of things that they're not doing on their part. That's like, you can't even fully go with the reffing and be like, oh, it's because of these calls. It's like, no, like I kind of feel like for instance, Brandon, and I pointed this out, in the last game, DC, like Brandon, he is doing a lot of fading away from Lou Dort. A lot of fading away. Like it's almost like he's making it easy for him to guard him, for him to shut him down. Like there's things that you can do, to help yourself, but fading, if you're going away from the contact, the refs are not going to call anything for you. When you look at Shea, and I'm surprised that, the Pels haven't take something from him. Okay, well, let me try some things that he's doing. Like he goes towards the contact. He's going towards it, not away from it. Those fadeaway jumpers that Brandon likes to shoot, man, like, it's like, no, Brandon, go into the contact. Stop avoiding it. Like there's just like, we're not really trying to help our case. And they have been making calls for Brandon, but I mean, obviously, probably not as much as Shea, but you got to go towards the contact. You can't do those fadeaways, man. They're not going to call anything. They're not.
Well,
They're
I've seen
not
several plays, Lex, where they went towards the contact and they get atrociously fouled and nobody calls anything. Willie Green says something and then play just continues. Like what happened with Brandon Ingram at the end of the third quarter. Willie Green
Yeah.
should have got ejected behind him.
Yeah, he should
You
have.
can't have a dude come up under you and you don't have a landing zone and then they don't call a foul. That's the same way that Kawhi Leonard got hurt. That was the reason they invented the rule. It
They
was a
don't-
textbook call that they should have made on that. And
Well,
when you
these-
saying stuff like that, you know that man, you gotta do something different, and you need to get a little radical. So if y'all ain't gonna rep it, look, we get in Texas, somebody getting elbowed, something gonna happen.
Well,
Because
we know that ain't going to happen, bro. Because
well, that's the fault, Big Q. That's the Pels' fault to me. Because if they're not gonna call it, when they're not gonna call it fair, well, I ain't gonna play fair.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play fair if y'all not gonna call it fair. And what will happen is the game will get out of control, and the refs will get set down, and they'll review all of that, and they'll do or take bigger measures to try to make it a little more fair for the Pelicans. But if you just keep taking it, they're gonna keep on giving it. That's what I see. We keep doing the same thing, and the same thing gonna keep happening.
Well, Deacon Willie is not going to.
Yeah, he sure ain't.
That he ain't going to do that, DC. And besides,
He's not.
talking about the Kawhi Leonard
Nice guy finished last, even with all the talent. Q.
about to get swept. But listen, this is the thing I'm talking about, dealing with that, what you talked about with them, the guy getting near his landing space. They've been doing that all damn year long. Guys try to block shots and they creep up, they put their hand up and they walk up under their feet. And it's really very it's a miracle that a lot of ankle injuries has been happening, because they've been getting away with a lot of that. You see guys run up with their hand up to try to block the shot, and their feet get right near where the shooter's feet is. The referees don't stop that. They don't warn them. They don't do none of that. Lou Dart on the 3-point shot that B.I. hit, some bitch got up under him and leaped into him and didn't get the call. But what I'm saying is, if we are
Right, that was a little more than walking up under him, but it was the worst possible way it could happen. B.I. just didn't fall crazy.
No, but I get what you're saying. I agree, but I'm saying the referees have a few games this year. They've been fair. The majority of these games have been horribly officiated games. This has been by far what the referees are not even. I don't even think they have control of the game. I think they're being told certain calls. I'm thinking they've been told to make because it just all these crews are consistently awful and horrible. All of them are trash. There's not one good crew that's doing something the right way. All of them call the game horribly unfair, which means I think it's something else going on here. But outside of that, if we are only if we have to play our brand of basketball, regardless of what we got to do, the mantra should be the Pelicans against everybody, the Pelicans against the world. We got to beat the damn team we playing. We got to beat the stinking dirty refs. We got to beat everybody.
Yeah.
And that's what we're supposed to stand on. Not the mentality they don't have.
That you have to come in with. That's why it's so important for the Pelicans to come out with that high energy. They have to outplay their opponent. They have to want it more. And the thing is, it's something that, look, this has been happening for a reason. So how do you get over this hump? You know how you get over this hump? You need to outplay your opponents. You need to outdo them in every facet of the game. Every facet. Because you have to do more. I did a flash report about that. You have to do more. It's a must to do more. This team has to do more. They can't do the bare minimum. They can't be complacent. They can't be on cruise control. They have to do more. You don't have the respect that you want. You don't have that. They don't respect you. The refs don't respect you. The teams don't respect you. The coaches don't respect you. The media doesn't respect you. So you got to do more. You got to take things personal. And let me tell you something. I'm not seeing where these guys are taking it personal. I'm not seeing that in Willie. Like, there's a different way that you have to approach the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, we winning this game. And ain't nothing gonna stop me. That's the attitude that this team needs. And until they get that, they're not going to get over this hump as far as getting that respect. Because this is something that's been consistent every single season. The Pelicans get a bad whistle. So what do you do about it? Well, you know what? If you outplay, out effort, energy, play with more energy, play with more passion, play like you want it, play like you're hungry, show a whole lot of heart, show a whole lot of will. If you do those things and play at a high level, and you do that all season, you can't take no days off because you have to practice, okay? You have to practice consistency at a high level. Practice consistency at a high level. It has to be all three of those things. And if you do that and you start, guess what? It's just like what these companies do with their products. What they do in these commercials. What do? They condition these consumers. You condition your consumers like, hey, you know what? Like, they playing at a high level. They outplaying. You know what? When he comes across that dude's arm, I'm going to make that call. You know why? Because he's conditioned the referee. He's conditioned the referee to make that call. He's conditioned the media to start talking them up. You see what I'm saying? Like, you have to condition these people. You got to train them. Train them. You have to look. You know what? You're not able to. You're not worthy to make those calls right now. You can't do that. So I'm gonna have to take the wheel. I'm gonna have to train you and take you where I want you to go. And you know what? It starts with me. Let me tell you about accountability. That's accountability right there. I'm going to put it in my hands because I know that if I take that upon myself to change the way that I play and come out here and show every single night that I'm better than this other team, we're better than this coach out here, we're better than that organization, guess what? Things will start to change. Because you know what? Look at OKC. They were just a playing team last season. And look how quick they've trained and changed their narrative. Why? Because they took it upon themselves to play harder than their opponents. They wanted it more. And the Pelicans got to do the same thing. You can't get complacent. You can't get relaxed. You have to train these people, man. You got to train them, conditional. Because that's what all these companies and their marketing teams, that's what they do to their consumers. They train us, oh, hey, eat this tasty burger. Oh, it looks so tasty and juicy. Come on by, Mickey D's. We got a new sandwich out. Okay? They do it all the time. So it's like, do it back to them. Train them. Conditional. And once you do that, the result, I think, will be a whole lot better.
Right. Thank you, Lex. DC, I know you just chiming in, bro. Go ahead and what's your thoughts on the Pelicans tonight? Go ahead. The floor is yours, my brother.
Well, I mean, very, very embarrassing effort, especially followed by the effort that they put up previous game. One thing I always at least hung my head on with the Pels, you usually don't see two total collapses or just completely embarrassing efforts back to back. If they went out there and fought hard and then still lost the game, something at the end of the game, it's like, okay, I ain't gonna say we expect that, but it's like, okay, if they lost, that's how I would have expected them to lose this game. But to go out there and get blowed off the floor in front of your home crowd, man. BI still not really looking like BI. CJ is just throwing rocks at the goal, bricks everywhere. He ain't really doing nothing. He ain't really get activated until midway going through third. You just, man, it's just complete embarrassment. Like, it's no passion, no type of confidence, no effort, low energy. It's like, do y'all even care? At this point, you're looking at that, like, no matter what the front office will want to do, you can't keep the same group together. Like, there has to be a change, at least a major change with a player or two. Obviously we know JV's not coming back. That is because I think JV has shown in this series he can actually make a difference. And I just don't get the hate Willie Green has for him. So you rather lean away from JV to have Brandon Ingram trying to guard Chet, when Larry Nance Jr. is not on it. Like, it just don't make sense, man.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Right. You see everything going to crap. These people are scoring in bunches, and they had a report came out. We got Matt Ryan got a 3-year contract for $6 million. Like, throw him out there. Dude was shooting 50% at three. One point during the year. Like, you got the rookie on the bench, man. Why just put him out there? He might as well let him get experience. Because if we keep doing the same thing, we obviously not gonna win the series. Well, let's start building for the future. They just keep doing the same thing. So they're tearing us up defensively. Calls are going crazy. It's extremely difficult for us to score. Let's lean more into defense. Let's just keep leaning into defense the same way. Man, it's hard to watch. And then you turn on TNT. TNT said we don't even deserve to go to Cancun. That's what Charles Barkley said. He said we're going to Galveston, Texas, with all that dirty water. The people think it's at the beach. I'm like, God damn, we don't even deserve to go to Cancun. We don't deserve to go fishing.
Look, Lakers in the same situation, and ain't nobody saying that about them. So
their situation is actually worse. Let's be real.
You think so?
If hell yeah. If you think the Pels got it bad, all you got to do is look. Huh?
They got some type of respect, though.
Yeah, because they have accomplished players that have done things in this league. But as far as with the expectations, if you lined up all three of these teams, at least for people who are not from here, don't watch the Pels all the time, and you ask what the expectations would be of those three teams, it would be Lakers first, Suns second, and Pels third. So what you see happening to them is like man, people can't even believe it. You got one team with 3 guys all making $100-200 million. They super over the tax, paying $100-something, $100 million in luxury tax, and they get swept. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy in the first round. By a younger team. So I think it's way worse with those teams. But
I don't know.
the way that we're losing, even though we're getting swept as well, it's a lot more embarrassing with what's going on with the Pels. But we don't have our best player. Those other teams, they have their best players. We got one guy who doesn't look like himself, and then the best actual player on this team who embodies everything that you said they need to go out there and just, I'm not going to lose this game. That's the mentality that Zion brings to the team. That's how he played that Lakers game.
Yeah.
He has another gear that he clearly switched when it's
Man,
playoff
he has
basketball.
we haven't even seen yet.
Right. And he was intentionally waiting, which I constantly mention all year. Like, look, people complain about Zion with the rebounding and his defense. I'm like, look, man, Zion is trying his best to make sure you make it through the season and don't get hurt.
Yeah,
When he needs to rebound and when he need to play defense, watch how it looked then. And everybody saw it at the end of the year. Zion went out and had 12, 13 rebound performances when they were needed for crucial games. But a regular game on a regular night, he didn't want to risk getting injured.
Yeah.
So he focused on his offensive game and creating gravity for everybody else. So everything we thought that dude was, he is. We have to figure out how to get over this injury hump. But now you're looking at the players that's around him. You're like, okay, will BI work with him? Will CJ work with him? Well, they might feel like CJ will work because CJ was actually playing some of his best basketball you've seen since Portland. But it was just him and Zion in the lineup. So looking at the way everything's going with the Thunder game, man, the best we can hope for is to come back and at least challenge them and win a couple of games or so, and avoid getting swept. But I've lost all faith in them being able to win this game, win this series, and that happened for me about in the first quarter of tonight's game. Well, this afternoon's game. So go Pels next year.
Hey, first we got to get the process of elimination first, to get to that point, and hopefully they do it correctly. But I don't know why I kind of have little faith in Doc Ock.
Well, Lex, we don't know how they're gonna do it, but I can tell you one thing I know: the way that we have botched up this playoff series, they have no choice but to make changes. It's so bad, it's like it's unignorable. There's no way they can just run it back. The only way they can run it back is if they fire Willie Green. There's no way they can.
Mm-hmm.
So
they need to do that regardless, whatever they do.
You know Herb not going nowhere. You know Trey not going nowhere. You got Dice and Hawk and all those guys are too young to move on from.
Guys, yeah.
So the writing's pretty much on the wall. It's got to be
top heavy.
A CJ or a BI that they look to move on from, because you cannot expect to, or both. I don't know if we didn't do that. I think we could make a choice for one of them. But because one guy is coming off the books. CJ is coming off the books in 2025. But you can't look to just get a center and think that's going to fix these issues, because it ain't.
No, you need
a point guard.
And a big. You need a guy that can.
Point guard and, a
big that can run.
Star next to Zion. You know what I'm saying? That would be nice.
Yeah, but that gets difficult when you start talking about who. My dream scenario would be DeJounte Murray and Jonathan Isaac.
What you get?
We can find a way to get both of those guys, preferably Cade Cunningham over DeJounte Murray, but I don't think there's no way in hell we can
no way that's happening.
get that. Yeah. But if we could get Cade Cunningham and Jonathan Isaac, man, I guarantee you they keep that team together, and Willie just gains some type of strategy. Even if he only got 3 different ones, they could win a championship, definitely. Zion. But I say
And
DeJounte Murray
shooters
and
too.
Jonathan Isaac, because Jonathan Isaac I think is a free agent, and you got DeJounte Murray where you probably pull up a trade and hopefully create some cap room. But you can also get a Kungwaye, whatever that guy is, in the DeJounte Murray trade. But you may be looking to get off of Brandon Ingram to make that happen. And I don't know how the hell we utilize CJ McCollum.
All right, Lexxah, last thoughts before we get ready to dip out. It's been very interesting, man, and like I said, the Pelicans are back up against it, man. Facing elimination on Monday. This game didn't give the last two games, not just one isolated incident. The last two games, these people could blown out by 20 or more points.
Yeah.
It's a joke, man. People are making fun of them. The Pelicans just don't care. They making fun. They don't have any respect for
the
themselves.
fans, though. You know what I'm saying?
No respect for themselves. But go ahead, Lex. I'll give you the flow for the final comment.
I don't know. I mean, this organization needs to do something. They need to do something. This reactive attitude is not working. You've collected enough data for the season. You saw games where, the core was healthy. You've collected enough data. Now it's time to make some changes. It's time to commit and make changes, so that you can maximize your future. Because right now, this is not it. You can't stay in the same spot. If you stay in the same spot, this team's not even going to be a play-in team. It's not. Next season, teams are going to get better. Teams are going to, especially in the division. So it's like, there's no way you can. I mean, maybe there is, but it wouldn't be wise. It would not be wise if you keep this team right here together. You have to make changes in order to get better. You have to be proactive. That's the only way that you're going to grow. Other teams around the league, they were aggressive. Even teams like Boston made changes in the middle of the season. Boston, people.
The
Boston.
Dallas Mavericks, Lex. That was
Yes.
the.
You see what
They
I'm
did
saying? Like,
everything that we thought the Pels
yeah.
should have did.
But you see what I'm saying? Like teams that already looked good, that already have established something, that saw some success, like they were making changes. What does that tell you? Like that's important. Like, hey, we see something. Even if it's something small, they saw something enough. Like, hey, you know what? We're gonna make this change. This is gonna make us a better team. And they didn't doubt it. You know why? Because they know basketball. And maybe that's the biggest thing, is that maybe a lot of people in the front office, they don't know basketball because they're too
Ding, ding, ding,
scared
ding, ding.
or skittish to make a move and think it might be the wrong move. Like, dude, like
Lex, that was a metaphor.
what?
Because when you said scared or skittish to make the
Yeah.
right move, I thought about Trajan Langdon. And I'm like, Trajan Langdon know basketball. Like, damn, but he is scared or skittish.
Well, the thing is that I think, again, Doc Ock. Who do we always see? And who do people think is the GM?
Yeah, that's because the other guy is scared and skittish. Because ain't no way, if I'm the GM of the team, am I gonna let you be at the podium and getting all the goddamn shine, and I'm making some of these moves?
Well,
That's on
I mean,
Trajan Langdon to let that happen.
well, they re-signed him too, but all I'm saying is that something's gonna have to change. And I'm not trying to be understanding of that corporate mentality. Oh, it looks good on paper. Dog, I ain't nobody trying to hear that. Okay. The fan base just
They
saw, and
killed my lawyer.
everybody in
Said
the
take that
world just
down.
saw on TNT. Everybody just saw how horrible this team performed. Ain't nobody trying to hear nothing on what you collected, on what you got on paper, because that's that corporate mentality. It's about what looks good on paper. Nobody's trying to hear that. We saw it with our own eyes. This is not working. This does not look good. This is not a good product. Stop messing around and make these changes, because this ain't it. This is not it. Like, I mean, who all is embarrassed about this game in this whole series? And for most of the season, the in-season tournament, I ain't letting
Zion look.
how'd he look?
Zion looked embarrassed.
Yeah.
Everybody who was playing and really looked embarrassed.
I mean, Zion wanted to play. Zion's trying, like, everybody was saying he was attacking his rehab so that he could come back. Like, he wants to play. It's like, you know, and you got to think who's if the winner of this game and the winner of the Mavs and Clippers game, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we definitely could beat. We can beat either one of those teams.
It's like, guys, y'all can just gut it out. Like, just find a way to win. You can't
Watch the Thunder go there and lose.
I mean, it's just, the mentality just is just so wrong. It's just wrong, man. And I know we've talked about this stuff like all season, but you know, I got zero faith in Willie. I don't have any faith in that dude. He doesn't. He's not it. We've seen the extent of how far this team can go with Willie at the helm. It's a first round exit. Okay. First it's it's basically a play-in team. And if you get out of the play-in, it's a first round exit. That's it.
But Willie never had his best player in the playoffs, Lex.
You know what? You know, you did. The thing is, the team didn't perform and you didn't coach. When he's in a position where he has to coach, this team is 0-26 coming from behind.
Trying to tell you, it's his. The time is up, though. How long are you supposed to wait?
It's like, how long? Like,
time's up on that.
You know, it's like his decision making and philosophies. It's hurting the team. Mm-hmm. It's like 0-26.
I don't agree with y'all.
He can only win one way. I mean, that's fine. I mean, it's okay.
I think Willie Green should be our defensive coach and our motivational speaker.
So an assistant coach.
I don't think we should get rid of him.
That dude is a one-trick motivational opponent. I ain't trying to hear we got to fight. That's all he had. That was his last motivational speech. That was 3 years ago.
Why didn't they put that up on a banner in the practice facility? You got the fight. You know, that should be a banner.
Because he's delusional.
That was out of character, man.
I mean, and plus, it ain't no loving word. It ain't no
Wait, hold on. We got the fight with compassion. That's better.
No, it's with force.
We got the fight with force.
Man, that dude, look, every time he says force, I'm like, dude, you watch too much Star Wars.
It's counterfeiting your violence, but making it more feasible to tell, because he won't justify using violence. It's too stern of a word. So we're going to use force. Force is what we're going to use.
Star Wars, man. I ain't trying to know.
You see, we feel
like that word. That force and credit, I don't like neither of the words. I'm gonna work so hard not to ever use those words again.
DC, we kind of feeling a little low today on the show. Could you bless us?
Wow, with some hope.
with a guitar solo, please. I mean,
well, this is what's going to happen. Pelicans are an amazing team. They are a young franchise. Come on, family. Franchises.
So is the Thunder. Wah, wah, wah.
But wait a minute now. We're still in the second phase of our rebuild. It is not over.
It's phases.
You know, right. You got to trust the process. Look at Phil.
Dude.
You see what happened, Phil? We could be the modern day Philadelphia 76ers if we just play with force. Love each other. And have compassion for the game.
Compassion,
togetherness.
And you have to attack your practices with joy.
It's just together.
There you go, Q.
It's not togetherness. He just got together on the wall. It's together on the wall. It's
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. So
That's right. And you are looking at 2 potential top 15 players on this team. It don't matter that they can't stay healthy. That's not a problem. We just got to make sure that they get healthy at the right time. See, the problem was we were so obsessed with getting. What happened?
So we don't get any guitar solo. The people want to know, can we get a guitar solo first?
This is the best solo I got for you. This is the best solo I got for you. So the problem is we were too obsessed with winning 50 games this season, right? If we would have just won 47 games, we'd have been in the same position, right? And we could have kept Zion healthy. Just if we'd have had the foresight to just forfeit that Lakers game. Matter of fact, the Lakers should have forfeited that damn game because look what happened to them. They would have been better off playing the Thunder. If we would have had a healthy Zion and played this. If woulda, coulda, shoulda, if was a fifth, we all need to get drunk on that. Because if you look at all the ifs, I'm telling you, this could have been an amazing season. But don't give up hope because the Pelicans are not done yet. They still got one more game. Y'all remember Miami Heat? They was down 0-3, and they came back and rattled off 4 straight with a D Wade. Nobody knew D Wade was going to do that. Brandon Ingram can turn into D Wade. We don't exactly have a Shaq.
I think
CJ McCullough
likes to sleep.
can hit a bunch of 3-pointers. All right, did she OD on the Hopi? Lex OD'd on the Hopi.
Yeah, Popo likes to sleep, man.
You're just saying
it was too much Hopi. It was too much Hopi in Q. Too much. Oh, that's a potent drug.
Where's this going?
He got
It's
from
going stagnant like Willie. There's no growth.
over there on the island.
Hey, we still a young team now, and we still rebuilding. Y'all don't lose. Y'all don't lose all hope.
Or the Thunder,
Okay.
they're a young team. They're like the youngest team.
Wait, I gotta quote my man Antonio Daniels. Growth is not linear, Lex.
Oh,
they could go up just how they went up. They could come right back on down, like the Memphis Grizzlies.
Growth is not linear. Growth is not linear, huh?
WHEN, win.
Growth is not linear. That's right, BQ. It's not.
I hear you, DC.
You don't know when it's gonna happen, baby. But it can happen.
DC lost his mind. All right. That being said, we're gonna cut out.
Hey, y'all wanted some hopium, man. I used to be one of the best sellers of that.
You know what? It lost its luster a little bit, DC.
Well, you know, I'm a little rusty on my hopium sales. I took off from selling hopium all year and sold some truthium. And the Pelicans, you know, the Pelicans still in the same place. I thought maybe if I didn't sell some hopium this year, we could do better. But apparently, you know, that shit ain't work either.
Yeah, you should have just did that in the Stan Van Gundy voice, man. That probably would have been better.
That shit ain't work.
That ain't work either, Lex.
Hey, you didn't try.
We was doing that shit for years and still getting our ass kicked.
I mean, well, look,
right?
Did it give hope?
I was coming on the show building all type of fucking walls, and we was still getting our ass kicked. We gotta go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I ain't got no more hope. It's been 5 years, like my man said in the chat. It's time to do something different.
It's time to do something different. Amen.
I don't even care what they do. If it's CJ or BI, we don't get rid of Zion, but they got to do something different, man. The writing's on the wall. I don't give a shit what they do, which one of them they get rid of, to be honest. But we have to do something different. We can't be, it's just injuries. We can't be this. No, they got to be a major change, man. It needs to be a name or a huge rookie or something coming through here.
No, this is a weak draft this year, so don't expect anything high in that department.
All right, fam. So we're gonna get ready to get out on here, man. And,
Wait, hold on, man.
come on, bro. We got talking about, bro.
There ain't nobody coming in this draft. They've already said it.
What
This
you
is the second. This is the second to last game of the year, man.
do? We done, man. What you talking about? We'll be back on Monday.
We gotta savor these moments. Q, it's almost over.
Nah,
It's over.
It was over before it began. And let me tell you something.
you turn
I
into
have
Dick
not
Gregory
been
now?
entertained.
It's
Not-
over.
Over.
That was crazy, man.
For that hun. It's over.
Man,
Yeah, you supposed to throw that in there. Shout out to Dick.
not in a million years though, man. Really, I would have thought the Pelicans would get swept by a goddamn Thunder. Ain't this some shit? I thought Pelicans could fly in
They
bad
was a
weather.
playing team on last season, and now they the number 1 seed this season.
Man, it's the Thunder too. It ain't even no goddamn lightning. It's the Thunder.
Mhm.
Man, the after effects of the lightning kicking our ass. Ain't this some shit?
Well,
All right, Q, you get in the show. I'm getting depressed.
All right. Appreciate you, DC. All right, fam. So listen, man, y'all please feel free to hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please feel free to subscribe to Pelican. What we up in this thing. Shout out to y'all, man. If you're listening to us on Twitter, please give us a retweet. We in this thing. We will return, fam, for Monday night stream, man. The Pelicans, one more game remaining. It'll be Monday night. Can the Pelicans, man?
Wait, hold up, Q. Are you not excited about that? The game on Monday?
Can the Pelicans,
Hey,
fam?
Big Q, DC,
And-
y'all watch the game and just let me know how it goes.
Can the Pelicans, man? Turn it around, man.
Damn.
I won't even have to watch it now. I'll
Last two
be
games.
able to commentate.
The last two games, the Pelicans have been destroyed by the Thunder. Not competitive at all. No heart, no drive. They sound defeated. They don't have. It appears that they don't have a playoff gear, and it's a shame. So, can they gather enough to change?
Yeah, Q, I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna do. They're gonna figure out that they Pelicans and they can fly up over the bad weather. They can fly over the Thunder. You see? They didn't know that. But getting their ass whooped at home might be able to teach it. Might be able to teach it to them.
Look, their wings have been clipped.
No, Lexi, their wings ain't been clipped. They've been defeathered.
Look, they walking and it's raining, thundering.
But I want you to know something.
It's hailing too.
The pelican is the most resilient bird in the bird family. You got to know that. It ain't over till it's over.
Yeah, I know, but you
It ain't
know
over till it's over.
when you hear the pressers and you hear defeat, okay, it's not.
Wait,
look,
hold up. Before we get out of here, I gotta know what happened. What happened in the presser? I didn't hear the presser.
Okay, it
I
sounded
almost
like
didn't make it, but I didn't want to be like the Pelican, so I had to show up.
DC. It was death. Okay, they sounded like death. They sounded defeated. They sounded like the total opposite of the things that they were saying with no passion or conviction. Okay, it was.
Did Willie say we're gonna make changes? We're gonna do something different now?
Yeah, they'll probably do something different. And that different is much of the same thing.
We're gonna do it on Monday instead of Saturday. Damn.
Oh, Aramis said depression.
Depression. Oh. So nobody had no fire at the podium? They didn't at least call out the refs or nothing?
No, it was look, yeah, we just gotta we gotta play with more energy and just do a whole lot more.
Can you talk with more energy, nigga?
That's how Brandon was talking. That's how Brandon was talking. And CJ, yeah, we just have to figure it out. And you know,
Somebody cancel his Netflix account. No more TV, CJ. No more Martin.
You know what? Hey, this brings me back to stuff that Draymond and Jimmy was talking about, man. I'm just, it's hey, there was a point being made. There was a point being made. But that still ain't gone though. Everything that they said, man. Pelicans ain't built like that. Like,
He wasn't lying. They wasn't
yeah.
lying.
I
They
mean,
told
they, I mean, all that stuff, it's coming back, man. And look, shoot, Draymond said it again on All-Star weekend on Sunday during the All-Star game.
nobody worried about the
Ain't
damn.
nobody worried about the Pelicans. Y'all remember that?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I remember. And I was like, man, Draymond, I don't know what the hell he talking about. Get him. And tonight on Draymond, we
I
not
mean,
feeling like that.
and it
And it's
wasn't.
our head coach. It's our head coach fault, in my opinion. I think we have the players, but I think it's the schoolboy mentality that we rolling up under, man. You can't get punched in the face and then just turn the other side to get punched again, get hit again, and then get spit on. And you
No,
gonna
and
go
then
back out there and fight fair?
here too. You hear me?
You gonna go out there and fight fair after all that? Like we just, I don't know, man. It's like some of the calls. That's my thing tonight. Like I'm like, man, the season is on the line. We've been getting shafted on the calls all year, right? I'm like, if y'all gonna cheat us like this, well, what the hell with it? Then let's blow it all up. Let's go out with a bang. At least that would be my mindset. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight
Yeah.
like hell.
Do or die. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not mad about them losing. It's just like
It's
the
how they're losing.
okayness.
How?
It's the okayness with them losing.
Yeah.
Like they're just
Demeanor,
content with losing. I'm like, come on, man. Nah.
body
Nah,
language.
at least let me
all that
see you
stuff.
try, man. Go, twist the ankle or something, give him max effort. Go out fighting, I saw the Devin Haney fight, and he got his ass whipped.
You know what? We gotta talk about that fight. Too.
But Devin Haney kept getting up. Devin Haney gave it everything he had, and you got to respect that.
Yeah,
that's why I know Devin Haney. He can come back from that. He can come back because he left it all out there. He cares about what he was doing. Where is that with the Pelicans? Where is that? So as long as we okay with losing, we just gotta do that, man. Y'all wipe the floor with all that. And everybody in New Orleans, that's how we feel, because that's not the type of city we are.
Mm-mm.
We want you to put it out there because the people, they gonna put it out there for y'all like that.
Yeah.
Win, lose, or draw. Everybody in the city just wants something they can be proud of. And they ain't providing it. We know you ain't gonna win the championship every year, but you're supposed to fight. You got to fight. They need to put the band up, ladies.
Man, nah.
Like you can win the championship every year because you never know. You don't know what year you will.
Tony, right there.
Well, he need to keep repeating that damn motivation because you got to fight with the right tone. Might get it.
You gotta have more than that. You gotta have X's and O's. Like, okay, yeah, we're fighting, but how do we do it, Coach? Can you draw up a play? No, I can't.
Yeah, I'm dropping play 0.5. We practice this, guys.
Like, should we do the pick and roll, Coach? Yeah, just go out there and run around and just give it to Brandon. Brandon, do something with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, there's no guidance.
They need the coach the water boy here.
Oh, shoot. And look, Dan Tony, look, hey, let me tell you something. The Pelicans need to fire Dan Tony, okay? And, I mean, because he's an offensive coach. You know what I'm saying? All these problems of, obviously defense is a problem. It's been a problem in the series, but it's like offensively, it's like, why do you have all these offensive minds around you?
Nah, I'm gonna tell you something now. Nah, I said this before, even before you was on the show.
People stealing money, you know?
D'Antoni, he's stealing money, but this is in his clause. D'Antoni had a clause. He said, "Call me when Zion out there. When Zion out there, don't call my phone."
So when Zion is out there, sometimes Willie don't even go to him.
when Zion is hurt, you can't call D'Antoni. He's on the beach sipping Mai Tais with all that money we giving him. And that's that. So since Zion come back, you ain't no influence from D'Antoni. You can can that.
Mhm. DC. What we talking about? What we talking about? We talking about the Pelicans? We talking about the Pelicans, man. We talking about the
Yeah,
Pelicans.
yeah, we are. D'Antoni is their advisor. And I'm not seeing a lot
And
of
he's
you know what,
horrible.
Lex? What if D'Antoni is giving Willie all type of offensive advice and Willie say, look, we're focused on defense.
You know what? I mean, that's what he's doing with Borrego. And he's on the bench with him.
What if he getting all the advice and he's
Oh
just
my
like
God.
disregard that shit? Like, that
You know
sounds
what?
good,
Hey,
but you know what? We're gonna create our offense from defense. We just
I
gotta stick with that.
see why they didn't let this dude hire his own staff. Because this is the same situation when he didn't have his own staff.
We done had a defensive coach as an offensive assistant.
Golly,
Big Q
man.
back there getting high, y'all. Damn, is that the person, bro? You know you
Nah,
put that music on, you start playing the toy piano and shit.
I thought that was
Time
you.
to blaze up. Time to blaze up, man.
gotta think.
I thought that was you, DC. I ain't got nothing planned. I thought that was you, bro.
Man, you got the soundboard, man.
Got a stereo behind you. Don't you?
Mm. And why you playing that mellow, calm ass music? See, this what got us into trouble anyway. We need
Shoot.
something aggressive. Put some
Yeah.
aggressive gospel rap on, too.
Put on Chris Brown's diss. His diss.
No, they got cussing in there. Lex Willie ain't gonna prove that. We gotta put on some aggressive gospel rap.
What?
That's aggressive.
Come on,
Oh my God.
put some aggressive gospel
Play
rap on
Chris
to get us
Brown's diss
fired up.
track. that's what this team needs right now. Shoot. Oh my gosh.
You right though, Lex. They get bodied by a singing nigga. They definitely would, yo. they might need to take some pointers from Chris Brown,
Hey,
man.
don't say that, man. That makes so much sense. We got
Man.
bodied by the youngest team in the league, man.
What? We started rebuilding before them, and they finished.
That's
Man,
Oh my God.
man.
You know what? Hey,
I don't want the Pelicans to build no house for me.
This track and replace it to make it.
Can't do no goddamn rebuilds for me, man. These people start rebuilding 2 years after us.
Oh my gosh. And they've already recovered.
Man, look, they was in the playoffs before us. They was in the playoffs before us, blew their whole team up, rebuilt it, and now they kicking our ass in the playoffs before we ever got there.
Because the Pelicans are too reactive, man. They're not being proactive.
This goes out to Lex. I got a special song for the Pelicans, man. We're gonna play it for them. Okay. It's dedicated to the New Orleans Pelicans. It's from Mobb Deep. It's called Shook Ones. And that is definitely what the Pelicans are. They are shook as hell. This young ass team running the Pelicans out of the gym, dominating them, yelling, laughing, and everything. They're not even a speed bump to this team. So there you go. Shook Ones. That's
there ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. There ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. Why you turn it up?
That's terrible, man. It's terrible. We basically validating what Draymond Green said because the Pelicans are shook, man. 2 blowout losses is going down. It's awful, man.
Now you know the Pelicans ain't gonna listen to that though, Q. They got too much cussing in the song. You gotta find a.
That's why I got this.
My man said you gotta get some gospel drill music coming here.
Gospel drill music. Wow. You might have started something.
That was a good one, Ed the Don.
Oh,
yeah, bro.
Some real stuff there, dog. That might be the next wave, bro. You never know. All right, Brother Aramis says Dan Tony is the coach's consultant. He's consulting Willie Green on how to get to Cancun. Yes, indeed. Sadly, Willie
No,
doesn't need
not
consultation
Cancun.
on that.
What's
No,
that
he
place?
don't.
Galveston.
Yeah,
Galveston.
Aramis, he failed that day. Like Lex said, they said we going to Galveston. We couldn't even make it to
Look,
Cancun.
Chuck said, look, Pels ain't even trying to take a plane. They trying to take Greyhounds.
Damn. How you consult the coach on how to make it to Cancun? They can't even make it there. Shit.
Oh,
Matter of fact, why is D'Antoni why is he our consultant anyway? He ain't never won nothing. Why the hell is he our consultant?
he's gotten
What did he
to the
win?
second round of the playoffs.
What does that mean?
I mean, that's way more than the
It's all for the
Pelicans.
Pelicans.
I was the fourth best loser in my conference. Come on, man.
Hey, I mean, hey, let me tell you something. I mean, he coach Steve Nash
Yeah, he did.
at Phoenix? Well, how far did they go? They went to the Western Conference, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they made. Didn't they make it to?
Yeah, they did.
Steve Nash
I
won.
think they made it to the Western Conference one time.
back to back.
Yeah.
Right?
So did Nate. So did with Terry Stotts or whatever who that was for the Blazers. Why he not consult? At least he know how to coach CJ, right?
Is Terry Stotts still alive?
Wait, he did?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
thought one of them died.
Aramis also mentioned, we knew we mentioned Houston, but James Harden, they went pretty. I mean, he's been in the playoffs every single year, and he's been in the playoffs convincingly. It wasn't through a play-in. Well, the play-in came in after, but yeah, I don't think D'Antoni was ever like lower than 6th seed.
Oh, what about when he coached the Knicks, Lex?
Oh, well, shoot, that's fine. Man, how far are we going? I mean, I said Phoenix. Goodness gracious. I mean,
didn't he go?
Nash was a 2-time MVP then, but goodness gracious, I don't remember them.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't D'Antoni go to the Lakers too and mess that up?
Oh yeah,
Am I tripping?
he went there, but you know the
Went to the
Lakers,
Knicks, then to the Lakers.
they in win now mode. So if you don't have the pieces and stuff,
And wasn't he over there consulting in Philly before James Harden got there and they ain't do shit?
That dude just getting free money.
oh dang, well,
They just
hey,
take
and
advantage of the
even
kid.
with all that, he still has more success than Willie.
Wow.
Man, they just taking advantage of Gail. Yeah, we need this guy. He'll help us. Just taking advantage of her, man. She just don't know. She just giving.
Boy, you ain't lying, because David Griffin and D'Antoni got to be like this. Wasn't they? He was around and probably was a part of D'Antoni joining the Phoenix Suns, because David Griffin had been over there, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or he didn't get power until Alvin Gentry came into play.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is probably how he got on the phone with Gail. He got Alvin to put him on the phone. He's like, I can come over there and be the GM for you.
I got a championship ring. That's actually, our champion is a general manager, but that was all LeBron. We know LeBron was the real general manager. He just got the pieces for us.
Alvin Gentry got drunk one night, Q, and he called David Griffin reminiscing and shit. He said, "Yeah, Alvin, yeah. Do you know Gail Benson? Can you put me on the phone with Gail Benson?" And that's how it happened, bro. One drunk night from Alvin Gentry.
Man, Griffin
got us the octopus, man.
Situation though with Cleveland, he didn't like the fact that LeBron was running things, and I don't think he don't want the same thing to happen in this situation, because it's especially when you talking about Zion. That's why I feel like, man, like the situation that you come into really does matter. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to understand the strength of Zion's brand and what he came into the league with. You know what I'm saying? Like people were talking about him being the face of the league. Do you know how that helps the marketing aspect of the Pelicans? That's a big deal. And the Pelicans aren't doing anything with that. Like, How have you all used his brand to help grow the Pelicans brand?
Lexxah, I disagree. I think the Pelicans have done something amazing with that.
No, Lord.
Do tell.
What
And
you
seriously,
about to say?
before playing your damn guitar, what you got to say, DC?
They preserved it by
Okay.
doing ramp ups and
Okay.
keeping minute restrictions on Zion.
But you know what? Not playing Zion on national televised games. It's like that stuff like that. That's you're losing. Why would you do something like that?
Because they're crazy. Don't know what they got.
It's like, you know, you're not
Because we're
using
working towards a sustainable future, and we wanna have organic family environments with
stop.
great human beings.
You know what?
You know what?
Like
It's time for DC to get
That
the
is
hell
the winning recipe.
like I said, DC, like I said, look, man, bump the culture, bump the family, bump the love. The foundation of this organization needs to be winning. What are we gonna do to win? What are we going to do to win? And as soon as they start focusing on that, guess what? The culture, the family, the love, okay? All that stuff comes with the winning. But you have to get the winning first.
Well,
Okay?
David Griffin said he won, and that they hated each other and all of that, and he was very unhappy on his road to winning a championship that way, Lex. So he's so
I mean,
good
the thing is, well,
that
guess what? Then if he's not trying to win, then he's not on the
he
Pelican side.
he is trying
That's
to
the
win,
thing.
but he wants to
No.
win a certain way. The hell with what works and what don't
Yeah,
work.
he wants
He
to
wants to
have
win,
all the
but he wants to
control.
win on his terms.
Yeah, he wants to have
Okay,
all
you
the
gotta
control
understand that now.
because LeBron had all the control in Cleveland,
Yep.
and that threatened his ego.
Yep.
It hit a nerve in his ego.
Absolutely.
And hey, at some point in time, dog, we don't care about your ego.
Nope.
The Pelicans fans have been here way before you have.
That's right.
The foundation needs to be winning. And golly, I mean, really, Gail, because really they hustling Gail. I really feel like they are hustling her and taking advantage of her because again, they're going to her with that corporate mentality and showing her, well, look on here on paper. We're doing this. I mean, as you can see, the revenue has been raised here and the games regular season, they've been improving. Okay. There's huge jump. There's been a 10% increase in the winning every year. The coach has been here. So we are doing things now. This is a process. No, man, that's a lie. Gail, what do you see with your eyes? What do you see with your eyes, girl?
They see what they tell her. I've been saying that, Lex. I've been saying
she
that.
Need to watch these games.
Gail might have some context or something right now. Like she can't see
needs to
that
get
good.
around some basketball minds. Be like, look, I know what they're telling me, but what do you see? Look, that's who you need to. That's what you need to do.
They're hustling.
Somebody can tell you the truth because the thing is the eye test is not matching up with what's on paper.
Nope.
Stop. You can't believe everything on paper. You can't do that, man.
Miss Gail goes straight to Mickey Loomis and asks him what he think. So that's why we in the situation we in.
He hustling her too. All them dudes hustling her too because she's a very rare type of owner where she runs her business like a family. She trusts 100% trusts the people that she employs, and she doesn't have. See, that circle was created before her. They know her limitations because they know who she is and what she is in terms of her being there. Now, I've been saying this before. What Gail needs to do is she needs to hire two people she can trust, like two people that'll be totally loyal to her. One that covers the Pelicans, one that covers the Saints. That's not a part of the culture. And this person has to be a person that knows about NFL, pro football and the ins and outs of it from an executive level to a player level. And then the other one is the same with the pro basketball. And those are the people that she sends to gather information from both sides of the fence and listens to whatever the Saints are telling the Pelicans and then have her conversation with that person. And those two people give her the real about what's going on with this team. That person also needs to be tapped into the people on the street, the people that support the team to see if, that they're valid, because These people will lie. They'll spin the truth. They'll fabricate. They'll say things that's not true to protect them jobs. I've been exposing Griffin. I've been exposing Mickey Loomis. I've been telling Mickey Loomis he's not a real general manager. He's a VP masquerading as a guy. A lot of what he did during his years with the Saints was back behind Sean Payton telling him what to do. It's an obvious difference when Sean leaves, and look how he looks now. So that's why I was selling. That needs to be changed because these guys are greedy. They sitting on top of the team and they just banking, they making money, and the teams are failing. The teams are not doing what they're supposed to do. And as long as they're making money, they consider that as a win. We don't want to hear that. We don't consider you making money as a win for you. You have to also appease the people that you have out there. That's the support base of the team. They want to see you win. They want wins that lead to bigger wins. They want playoff wins. They want stuff like that leads to trophies. They don't want this half-ass shit that you're running out here saying, well, we built this and then it's this and this, that, and there. Nah, none of that. Getting cheap-ass coaches that don't really know the game like talking about so you can bank out and make money. We know what time it is, man. You got a cheap-ass coach, Dennis Allen, that's easily manipulated. He's a half-ass. He's not really a head coach. He's half-ass. And Willie Green is totally inept in many aspects of his game. He's a good guy, but he's incredibly too blind on a lot of other things. So in the end, this is the type of stuff that she will never see because these people will spend it like she's winning because she makes $1 billion a year each and every year, according to Forbes. So that's considered a win. So in the end, it is what it is, man. So we've been saying this. I've been telling the truth about these people for some time now. That's what I lay out there. They don't like that, be exposed in their game, but it's time for them to go. If you're not winning and you're taking care of business, it's time for you to go. Mickey Loomis been there for over 20 years. The game done passed. It's time for him to go. And then David Griffin masquerading off of a championship ring that he didn't exclusively win. That was LeBron James orchestrating.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm telling you the God honest truth.
That boy came down from 3-1, man. That was crazy.
Telling you, bro. Telling you that.
Griffin ain't had nothing to do with that.
He had nothing to do with that at all. So he did go out and get the players that LeBron James told him to get to a piece.
All of them.
But in the end, he wasn't the architect of that.
Mm-mm.
So let's tell the truth and shame the devil. That's what I'm talking about. And that's what we need to leave going forward.
I mean, he lucked up and drafted Kyrie, and LeBron just happened to want to come back. And they caught him a championship. Period.
Yeah,
that's all it was.
Well, he also drafted Deion. What's that boy name that Kyrie was getting into fights with?
Deion Waiters, the little pot head who got kicked out the league for taking gummies on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
and acting crazy.
Yeah. Into it, they can't get along. All that kind of stuff.
He was actually a good player though, but
he's a basketball.
How do you draft a guy that don't mess with your number one guy?
Yeah.
Boy, that is a horrible manager of people, right?
Yeah,
brother. That's what I'm saying.
Kind of touched though, I mean, he kind of reminds me of Starks a little bit. John Starks. He think he's colder than what he is.
Who, Deion Waiters?
Yeah.
Starks actually was better than Deion Waiters though in his prime.
But
I get what you're saying.
He thought he was I'm cold. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, that man he dunked on Jordan. That probably whipped his head. He telling that story right now to one of his grandkids.
Dunked on Jordan.
Okay, man.
In my office, I dunked on Jordan. No champion.
That's the hand he fan with. What?
Look, you know what? Hey, don't nobody remember that. I thought that was Pippen he dunked on, but
Jordan.
Nah, that was Jordan.
Jordan was.
I know he was in the.
And I ain't gonna lie. If he dunked on Pippen, that would have been even more impressive. To be honest.
Not the way.
Because think about how good Pippen was. Who you remember dunking on Pippen? Because I don't remember nobody. I remember him dunking on some people. I don't remember nobody dunking on Pippen.
I remember him dunking on Ewing. That was nasty. Oh my gosh, that was nasty. They show that all the time.
That's one of the greatest dunks of all time.
He pushed him down. Yeah, he dunked on him and pushed him down. Yeah,
I know he showed it and then stepped over him.
You ain't got up ready to fight, boy.
Oh yeah, he was upset.
And his accent came out then. You see, Ewing's accent came out, boy. His thick ass accent came out there.
What it sound like? What it sound like, Keith?
Humble class, man. They don't do that. Well, he got up on him on that, boy.
I mean, he should have jumped higher.
Mm-hmm. You don't.
Lex, now you know at that point in your career, that man had 2 knee pads on his knees. Ain't no jumping high when you got 2 knee pads on.
You know what? Then you better make a business. You better make an executive decision, and you better leave out your way, and conjure up any type of accolades. And
Ewan had them. Hey Lex, old Ewan had them goddamn Rufus knee pads on, boy, when he was playing back in the day. That boy had.
They weren't like the technology has improved greatly. So he didn't have those he didn't have those big time.
But to bring it back full circle though, and get back on Pels talk, what do you guys think before we get out of here? We need to do what y'all would want to see us do, and what do you think the Pelicans are actually going to do? Because those things can probably not be the same.
Look, we could just skip the first and the middle question and just go to the last question. You can go, Big Q.
I'm just gonna turn my time over to Lex.
You don't want to answer that, Q?
I've said enough, brother. I think that it's very evident what's going to happen here.
What's going to happen?
It's very evident what's going to happen, and the Pelicans going to give their best effort, and more than likely, it's probably not going to be
absolutely nothing. Say it again.
They're going to they'll give a strong effort. It won't be enough. They shook, bro. They are shook. I played the instrumental, Mob Deep. They shook. This is a shook team, man. Look at their face.
I think you misunderstood me. I meant in the off season, as far as fixing the team.
We skipped the major part. Come on,
talking about the game.
I saved that for a whole nother show, brother. I'll just say
damn. All right, well, I guess we gonna say that for the. We doing the season wrap up on Monday.
No, the season wrap up is not Monday. That's the last game. We'll talk about some of the things. The season wrap up the entire show unto itself, BC.
Oh, okay. Well, so we doing the show after the show on Monday? Call the season wrap up?
No, we're not doing the show after on Monday, bro. That's a separate.
Wait, hold on. One thing. Can you look up the matchup indicator? I would like to see what Vegas has to say about our chances of winning. I need some hope before I get out of here, Lex.
Well,
some hope.
57% versus 42%.
Ooh, wait, we got 57.
OKC has 57%.
Damn, Vegas don't even believe in us.
They think the Pelicans about to.
They trying to get all the Pelicans money.
They're not even trying to trick them, Lex.
No, it's 57%.
It ain't believable. Nobody's buying it. Damn.
See, there is too much cutting up. Now the DC's back. We back to cutting up again.
Yep. Yeah, but that's what it is, fam. 57% for the OKC team according to the matchup.
It could have been like 75 or 80. So we got a 43% chance, BQ.
Only them people not fools. The only fools is us, man. To think that the Pelicans stand a shot of trying to win a game when they already defeated. The team shook as hell, man.
Man, I'm going to put some money on DraftKings on the Pelicans, man.
You go ahead and lose your money, DC. Go ahead.
I can't stand how y'all talking
know what
like
that
this.
really means. We know you pulling a Willie Green. You want to help the other team out, you know.
Choking ass.
I'm gonna tell you, Lex, about the 4 minute mark in the third quarter. I'm gonna know whether I need to take a nap before we do the show.
I was just gonna have y'all watch the game and then I'll just come on, because because look, I have a pretty good feel for basketball. So
So you got your takes ready about Game 4
yes, I
today?
do. I already took my notes.
Okay.
I believe
Okay.
repeat.
I got
Damn.
it written down.
It's
Actually,
gonna
I
be a
wrote it down. I typed them
repeat.
down.
Say Q. Once we get off the show, can we just go ahead and record the podcast for Monday? Let's just pre-record it.
Just why do that? Just run this show back. It more than likely probably. Why not?
Premonition Pelicans.
Oh man.
And this team, man, I tell you, they disappoint me.
All right, family. I'm done. We gotta laugh to keep from crying, man. I'm done.
I'm already crying, DC.
Ryan with the super chat. He says, what do you think about the lineup of Jordan Hawkins, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, BI, and Zion? What you think about it? Thank you, Ryan, for the super chat.
Y'all want me to answer first?
Reality.
You want me to answer first?
Go ahead,
In theory,
please.
I think that lineup is impossible because one of the people probably will be on the team.
yeah,
I don't
so
think there's any way in hell we're gonna see that lineup, Ryan. If we did for some reason be able to keep Bi and Zion, Hawk, Trey, or Herb, one of them gone. Somebody is leaving. So I don't think we'll ever see that lineup. But in theory, as far as what I would do, I probably would have tried this lineup maybe about
regular season.
75 games ago. I probably would have tried this lineup.
J Black says 5 stages of grief show.
Pretty much. This is a funeral. This is a celebration.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tragedy. This is a therapy session. And then we got another part of this. I'm trying to categorize them with a
Right, and
I
crying.
don't remember the last one.
I mean, you doing good. That's good.
It's one more. I couldn't have it. The last one, kind of escaped.
Therapeutic.
Y'all can feel it. Yeah, I say therapy.
Okay. All right. Well, my bad.
Well, we've definitely come to acceptance. Did we reach we reached all 5 stages. We did good, y'all.
Okay.
Good call.
We did good. We not down in the dump stuck. We ain't gonna be stuck inside, under the covers crying and then we went through all 5
gonna be
stages
sleeping well at
tonight.
night.
Yeah.
I don't know about DC. He got the baby crying and stuff. So, but yeah, me and Big Q, we're gonna be sleeping well at night.
Yeah, we're not gonna
that's gonna be all right.
Lex,
the baby in there watching the game.
Which one? I hope
the one from the day.
This guy.
The Pelicans game to be honest.
No, you got to replaying.
They did all that, man. What happened? We'll turn it on.
Lex, feel free to chime in what you think about Ryan's question in terms of line. Do you agree with DC's assessment, or what do you think about the question he asked?
I mean, this is it's basically it's not reality. It's theoretical. So Hawk is not in the rotation, and Willie Green, he favors defense over offense. So when you put those things together, it really doesn't make sense because Hawk is not even in the rotation. He's not in the rotation. Yeah. I mean, it's much on the lines of what DC was saying. Right. How can we continue to keep talking about these different lineups and putting guys in there that aren't even in the rotation? It doesn't make any sense. Whether it's Cody Zeller, whether it's Jayhawk, whether it's Matt Ryan, anybody who we don't see. Like Willie does not trust Hawkins. Nope. He doesn't trust him. As long as Willie's here, this lineup is in theory. It doesn't exist. It's not feasible. So, I mean, I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, we could talk about it. I mean, yeah, it sounds cool, it would be nice, but we don't see it, and we're not going to see it. And we're definitely not going to see it on Monday. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it's all about knowing Willie, because Willie has the power to do that, but we know that he's not. So, I mean, it's like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? So, but hey, I wouldn't mind seeing it. I wouldn't mind seeing it at all. It'd be nice, but realistically, I mean, it's not going to happen.
All right. Thank you, Lex, DC. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate you guys for being in the stream, man. Listen, man. Hope y'all had a good time, man. We had good laughs. A few things.
This is the best funeral I ever been to.
It's a jazz funeral, DC, without the jazz, man. We was pretty good tonight. But listen, fam. I'm gonna ask you to hit the like button if you please. Feel free to share the show on your social media feed. If you're not a subscriber, mash the subscribe button. And if you're on Twitter, give us a retweet, man. PPR, we in this thing. Got to keep it real on these sports teams, man. We can't have any delusion or any of this other stuff, man. We got to face the facts, man. That's the only way we'll be able to troubleshoot and do what we need to do to get this on track, man. Pelicans 49 wins. If they get blanked out, that's going to erase a lot of stuff. We're going to be on Griffin's head about that when he finally steps to the podium about this, the secret contract, all this just back ass stuff that's going on. And I've been saying they've been taking advantage of this owner. It's just, this where the money at. Come get this over there. She don't know what she's doing. But I mean, it's just strange times for the city of New Orleans with our basketball team, our football team, man. We just need to make it through it. It's very difficult. But anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna get out on that. I appreciate it.
Don't throw the football team in there, Q. We had an A+ draft.
All right, well, we'll see how they translate that onto the field, DC. But with that being said,
right, they can't mess that up.
we'll see when we get ready to leave. Listen, I appreciate all you guys for being in the stream. Listen, we'll be back on Monday, man. Game 4 Pelicans in the Smoothie King Center Monday afternoon. Can the Pelicans wake up, stop being shook, play like champions, play like and get the dub? Right? Can they play with some passion, some energy?
According to 504 Doc, he said the Lakers about to get one. If the Lakers could do it, I know the Pelicans can.
Right. So there you go. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna get out on that. Listen, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a fantastic rest of y'all.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out